is a rainy day at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock, Arkansas, as we get you set for today's 4A state championship game between Elkins and Arkadelphia. You see all the folks in the ponchos getting ready for this one, as rain's going to be moving out here later on in the ball game, so we won't have to have those umbrellas out as we go through. And I'm RJ Hawk along with Wes Moore. And Wes, this is the second weekend of state championships, but last weekend, man, we had some dandy ball games.
Unbelievable games. To be able to start it off with the 8-man on a Thursday night and just all those points being scored strong, just was strong and put up 66 points. Caden McHenry was your MVP in this game, 66-14 at War Memorial Stadium. Had the mercy rule game going on, but it was still a long game, but a fun game for Strong. Then we came back with the 2A game Friday afternoon, a noon game, and we thought we were going to have a lot of points, but it was defense that was stealing the show with Conway Christian winning 18-8.
You know, that Conway Christian team, they were super excited to be here, and you see them right there getting that state championship trophy. A lot of cool moments seeing those championship trophies being raised.
Their first ever state championship. And then Parkview taking on Farmington in the Friday night game, the 5A state title. There's Amarian Robinson, the Oklahoma Sooner signee. He gets the pick six, and Parkview rolls in this one, 61-21. Saturday at noon for the 6A game, it was Greenwood. And speaking of 61, they also put up 61 points, knocking off Shiloh Christian 61-35. Kane Archer, big game for him. He was the MVP. And then our 7A state championship game, Bryant and Bentonville. Bentonville was winning this game, and they were the dominant team in the first half. But then Bryant got going in the second half, started running the ball. Quad Sanders and the Bryant Hornets celebrate their 6th state championship in 7 years.
You know, it was an impressive week for the Hornets, because they also won the esports championship on Monday following that win on Saturday. So, but you know what? We've got rain in the forecast for this 4A game, but we've got 2 games today. We've got the 4A game starting up here in just a moment, and then the 3A game this afternoon. So I think the rain will be cleared out this evening for that ball game, and ought to be a lot of fun for high school football here at War Memorial Stadium. Well, we are just moments away from getting this one underway here at War Memorial. When we come back, we will preview Elkins and Arkadelphia in the 4A state championship game as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports. is a rainy day at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock, Arkansas, as we get you set for today's 4A state championship game between Elkins and Arkadelphia. You see all the folks in the ponchos getting ready for this one, as rain's going to be moving out here later on in the ball game, so we won't have to have those umbrellas out as we go through. And I'm RJ Hawk along with Wes Moore. And Wes, this is the second weekend of state championships, but last weekend, man, we had some dandy ball games.
Unbelievable games. To be able to start it off with the 8-man on a Thursday night and just all those points being scored strong, just was strong and put up 66 points. Caden McHenry was your MVP in this game, 66-14 at War Memorial Stadium. Had the Mercy Rule game going on, but it was still a long game, but a fun game for Strong. Then we came back with the 2A game Friday afternoon, a noon game. And we thought we were going to have a lot of points, but it was defense that was stealing the show with Conway Christian winning 18-8.
You know, that Conway Christian team, they were super excited to be here, and you see them right there getting that state championship trophy. A lot of cool moments seeing those championship trophies being raised.
Their first ever state championship, and then Parkview taking on Farmington in the Friday night game, the 5A state title. There's Marion Robinson, the Oklahoma Sooner signee. He gets the pick six, and Parkview rolls in this one, 61-21. Saturday at noon for the 6A game, it was Greenwood, and speaking of 61, they also put up 61 points, knocking off Shiloh Christian 61-35. Kane Archer, big game for him. He was the MVP. And then our 7A state championship game, Bryant and Bentonville. Bentonville was winning this game, and they were the dominant team in the first half. But then Bryant got going in the second half, started running the ball. Quad Sanders and the Bryant Hornets celebrate their 6th state championship in 7 years.
You know, it was an impressive week for the Hornets, because they also won the esports championship on Monday following that win on Saturday. So, but you know what? We've got rain in the forecast for this 4A game, but we've got 2 games today. We've got the 4A game starting up here in just a moment, and then the 3A game this afternoon. So I think the rain will be cleared out this evening for that ball game, and ought to be a lot of fun for high school football here at War Memorial Stadium. Well, we are just moments away from getting this one underway here at War Memorial. When we come back, we will preview Elkins and Arkadelphia in the 4A state championship game as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Thanks to UAMS Health, I am dancing through life.
How often can you give a gift to your friends and neighbors, to your community, even to the whole state, and give one to yourself at the very same time? Today you can. When you donate to Arkansas PBS, your gift serves the community through media that educates, entertains, and inspires. From kindness to creativity, from news to nature, from history to mystery, there is so much to discover at Arkansas PBS, but we can't do it without you. Please make your tax-deductible gift before December 31st and help us to keep good going. Your gift will impact generations to come. Please go to myarpbs.org/donate and make your gift today. And from all of us at Arkansas PBS, happy holidays.
Our gratitude for you never takes a holiday. That's because your support makes good things happen here at Arkansas PBS all year long, every single day. We saw the smiles and laughter of Family Day, the exhilaration of watching high school athletes and scholars achieve greatness, the thrill and romance of your favorite dramas, the comfort of trusted news and high-quality children's educational programming. All of these things we've done together with you. So from all of us at Arkansas PBS and the Arkansas PBS Foundation, thank you for another amazing year. Happy holidays and best wishes for joy and peace in the new year to come.
Folks are making their way into War Memorial Stadium for this 4A championship game between Elkins and Arkadelphia, as we are about 4.5 minutes away from the opening kickoff between these two teams. RJ Honk along with Wes Moore, Tyler Cass down the sidelines for this one today. And the rain's starting to let up a little bit, Wes. It's, they said it's going to be about 1 o'clock before it moves out of here. And so hopefully we'll have, it's still going to be wet, but not just torturous rain throughout this one.
Kind of a fitting start for our last day. I mean, I'm kind of in a bad mood. You know, it's our last two high school football games of the year, and we got this gloomy weather. It just seems kind of fitting.
That's right. Well, let's take a look at both these two teams. We will first start with the Elkins Elks, who come in 14-0 on the season. And, Wes, this is how they got there. I mean, they've been pretty dominant, and you look at the first game, they played Central. They won that game 52-6. Then they move on and took on a Mena team, won that game 35-16. It's been all about defense for Elkins throughout the year. Malvern 45-31. And then last week, Wes, in the Mills game, that was really one of their closer games of the season against the Mills Commons.
And special teams came up huge for Elkins in that game. That's what got them to the championship game. Talking with Coach Shucker at Arkadelphia, he said special teams is going to be huge today.
Well, there is your player of the game, or the player spotlight. Jaquay Walden, West, 197 carries this season.
Yeah, this guy is a touchdown machine. I've got him for 22 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns, and he had a scoop and score on defense. So 25 touchdowns he has scored this year. About 1,500 yards total offense. He's the guy to watch for Elkins.
Yeah, he's going to be a playmaker for the Elks throughout this one. And let's move over to those Arkadelphia Badgers now, who are 12-2 on the season. They went undefeated in conference play. And their road to War Memorial Stadium first started with Ozark. They win that game 57-12. Then they take on the Gentry 46-14. Then it was the Dardanelle. Arkadelphia wins that game 35-27 to make it to War Memorial Stadium. And they beat Southside as well 35-6. But this has been an Arkadelphia team, Wes, all season long. They've gotten better since day one of the season.
Well, they start a sophomore at quarterback, and that's who we're going to spotlight, Bryson McCoy. He has thrown 2,800 yards, 43 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And a funny story, they came out in their warm-ups without shirts on.
Yeah.
And they're running around, doing their pregame stuff, and we looked down and Elkins had their full uniforms on. I was like, that's pretty smart. Arkadelphia's going to go on and put on dry uniforms, come out here and play. Elkins got on wet clothes.
I remember you and I were talking about this. I remember a few years back when Pulaski Academy, we had a rain game, and they actually brought 2 different uniforms where they wore one uniform in the first half, wore one in the second half. That way they stayed dry throughout. But a different look for Arkadelphia, where they came out with it was shirts versus skins in the pregame warm-up of this one. As both teams are about to make their way on, they are clothed coming into this one. Let's go ahead and go over those keys of the game, Wes, for both these two teams. We'll start with Elkins. And really, I think you mentioned just a minute ago, you got to get that ground game going.
Yeah, you got to take care of the ball too today with the wet field. The footballs are going to be wet. You're going to see some footballs on the ground. So you got to take care of the ball, possess it. But Elkins wants to dominate the line of scrimmage both offensively, defensively, and get that running game going.
As for Arkadelphia, this is a team, as we said, getting better every game. But the weather conditions, it being wet, they throw the ball quite a bit, but I think they need to really get some kind of ground game going as well.
Yeah, Coach Shucker told me that on the radio. He said, we're going to have the explosive plays, but what we want to do is get that run game going, because the explosive passing plays are going to happen at some point. And then he really emphasized winning the special teams battle. He said both of these teams, like I said, have great special teams, and they want to be the one who wins that phase of the game today.
Well, let's go down to the third member of our broadcast team who's standing by on the sidelines. Tyler Cass joining us for this 4A title game. What's up, Tyler?
Yeah, guys, now tell you, I just had to turn up the volume to hear you guys in my ear. Both fan bases, despite the rain, despite long distances for Elkins and even Arkadelphia, they've shown out in a big way. It's loud down here. They are raring to go. And good news, there is sunlight breaking through these clouds. It's getting a little lighter. The rain is almost stopped. And honestly, most of the puddles have dried up. So we should be ready to go for some football.
That's one thing about this stadium, Wes, is that when they put the new turf in a few years ago, they upgraded the drainage system so that whenever you had large amounts of rain, it really soaked through and drained out. And, about 30 minutes ago, if you looked at midfield, it was just a giant pond of water, and that's all gone away and drained out here at the stadium.
End zone, midfield, there were ponds out there, and I was like, huh, this is going to be fun. We're going to have players sliding through the rain. It's gone now. Of course, it's still wet, but it looks a lot better, and it only took 30 minutes for it to all soak through, drain off.
Well, we are just about set and ready to go. Arkadelphia wearing their all-blue uniforms trimmed in white with white helmets. As for Elkins, they're in their blue pants, white tops trimmed in blue with their blue helmets. And kicking things off for Elkins is going to be Dawson Malice, as he'll put a foot into it, and it's going to go end over end at the 8-yard line, and it'll be brought up for Arkadelphia right there. Working left side, had one man to beat, and that time on the return for Arkadelphia, it was I believe that was Braden Warner that time.
Yeah, James Townsend made the tackle there, and he really probably saved a touchdown. He had one man to beat. If he beats Townsend, now Townsend's one of their best players on this Elkins defense, also on special teams, but that Arkadelphia kick return, they opened up a nice hole. There was a lot of room to run.
They're going to start things off at the 33-yard line. They're going to go with a tight formation to start this ball game. Man in motion. Out to the left side is Purefoy. Gonna hand it off for Arkadelphia. That's Roberts. And Roberts will take it for about a yard gain.
Trying to get the junior wide receiver involved in a different way. Hand it off to him a little bit. He's run the ball a little bit this year, but get Orion the ball and get the blood flowing for him a little bit.
Another handoff straight ahead. Another gain of about 2 yards that time, trying to go with Kyle Reed. It's Oliver Haracha who came in to make the stop. That brings up a 3rd down now for Arkadelphia.
Trying to get that run game going.
4 wide in the formation. They're going to look to throw. And we've got whistles, and we've got a penalty flag down at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, far side official threw that flag.
Defense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Our officials today, that was Daniel Faulkner, who you just saw on the screen. Our umpire is Michael Hannon. Linesman Chad Walker. Line judge is David Ward. Back judge is Brad Rickett. And the center judge is Michael Catton. Here's another pass play, and it's going to be enough for a 1st down as they get it across the 45 out to the 47-yard line.
Well, that was a big penalty right there. And instead of 3rd and 7, you got 3rd and 2. And all McCoy did was drop back, 3-step drop, found Finley, just sat down. He just picked up 5-6 yards, easy pitch and catch.
3 wide receivers go to the right side of the formation. As McCoy going to try to throw it. He throws it behind his intended target that time, trying to hook up with Roberts. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, the sophomore quarterback just missed his guy. He just threw it behind him. Luckily, that falls to the ground because that could have been a potential interception.
Opening drive for Arkadelphia as we start this 4A championship game. They're going to line up with 4 wide in the formation. McCoy under pressure, got a bad snap, and he'll be sacked.
Just came from the end.
Jaquay Walden, who we talked about in the pregame, playing a little defense, got the sack that time.
Yeah, Walden came from that left end spot, just beat the tackle, got to the quarterback quickly.
You see the speed right there by Walden.
We're going to see a lot of him on offense here in a few minutes. He is their go-to guy.
So that brings up a 3rd down and 19 now. Another low snap. Throws it right side. It's caught, but it's well shy of the 1st downs. They'll take it out to the 46-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th down and 11 for Arkadelphia. Now, one thing about Arkadelphia, they've been known to go for it a lot this year. The punter is Bryson McCoy. It's a 4th down and 11 with the ball at their own 46-yard line. They look to go for it.
Elkins sending somebody back. They recognize it, but it's blocked.
Arkadelphia is going to jump on it. Back at the 38, it was Connor Ham who got in there to block it. And now the Elkins Elks are going to have great field position to start their 1st drive.
We mentioned it in pregame. Special teams is going to be huge in this game. Elkins did it last week against Mills, and they do it in the 1st punt attempt today. Great field position inside the 40.
So Ben Napier is the quarterback for Elkins. On the season, a 65% passer. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He'll line up with 4 wide. They're going to hand it off to Walden. Boy, look at those running lanes for Walden as he'll take it out to the 30-yard line. He just had a big gaping hole on that left side.
Arkadelphia lost outside containment. He had a pulling guard, and the guard didn't even really have anybody to block. In fact, the guard ran by a couple of Arkadelphia guys. Finally made a block there attempt at the 28, but no, that was a huge gap over there on that left side.
Give a big shout out to Sean Franklin, who was the offensive lineman that was his lead blocker that time. Here's Walden again. Straight ahead, he'll get the first down as they cross the 25, and they take it down to the 21-yard line.
Attacking that left side of the Arkadelphia defense, back-to-back plays. They've gone over there off of that left end.
It's a 1st down and 10 with the ball at the 21-yard line. We talked about Jaquay Walden, over 1,400 yards receiving this year, or rushing this year. We're going to go back to him. Nice cut move as he'll take it out to the 20-yard line. And that time for Arkadelphia, it was Braden Wagner who came up to make the stop.
Arkadelphia said, no, you're not going to run over here again. All right, we got you. 2 straight runs over here. That time they did a much better job of sealing off the end. Allowed the linebacker to come up, make the tackle. Got a little penetration that time from Wagner.
Ball's at the 20-yard line is a 1-yard pickup. They fake the handoff, going to look to throw. And overthrows his intended target, trying to hook up with his tight end that time for the Elks. That was Owen Bablitz. Bablitz has not had a lot of targets this year, but you watch film and they've got that in their playbook just to be able to throw to him when they need to. And now it's a 3rd down and 9.
Well, he's a very good defensive player too. That time they tried to sneak him out. The other 2 receivers were covered well by Arkadelphia, so I thought that was a good decision to check it down, just missed the throw.
3rd down and 9, they go 4 wide.
Arkadelphia showing blitz right up the middle.
Napier is going to put Walden on his right side. Man in motion is Townsend, and he'll lose the handle on it, and it's going to be a big loss that time as coming up for Arkadelphia. That was that outside rusher who was able to come in and get the sack, and it's a big loss here, and it'll bring up a 4th down and long.
He just took his eyes off of it. It was a little low around his knees, but just took his eyes off of it. No, it was low. It was below his knee and to the left. A little bit bad snap, and McClure got in there quickly and hey, recovered it. That's the number one thing. You don't want to, it could have been disastrous. At least he just falls on it, live to play another down. It sets up a 4th and long, but kind of no man's territory. Although we saw their field goal kicker kick one from about 46 yards in pregame.
In the driving rain, by the way. Now here's a 4th down and 20. Napier going to look to throw right side. It's almost intercepted.
That was a touchdown. He just dropped a touchdown. Hit him right in the hands. Oh, he's going to think about that for a long time. Quintavious Morris.
Boy, Morris was looking at the end zone. He thought he just had an easy pick 6 right there. And either way, Arkadelphia holds. Both teams now have gone for it on 4th down and have not converted. And Arkadelphia gets the football back.
I'm sure he was just looking up. He saw Walden. He's just like, I got to catch this and make a move on Walden, and I'm gone for a touchdown, and forgot to catch it. But you know what? They get the hold, they get the stop, they're off the field. Defense does their job after the block punt.
So Arkadelphia will have it on that far hash mark. They're going to run with it here on 1st down. That was Kyle Reed who took the handoff. Got a nice run as he took it past the 35 out to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, big hold that time. Just followed one of his linemen. Picked up 5 yards. Best running play for Arkadelphia.
Back to Reed they go, straight ahead. And it was Williams in on the tackle that time to bring up a 3rd down.
Senior Williams just came crashing in off of that outside and made the play from behind.
Now you've got a 3rd down and 5. The ball at the 36-yard line. Gonna hand it off again. Reed trying to find something. Got about a yard on the play. It's gonna bring up a 4th down. And it's Hiracha who came in to make the stop.
I think footing there may have been, you notice how I kind of tiptoed up there instead of making that hard cut. I think they're trying to feel their way on this wet turf right now. Because that play had the potential to pick up the first down if he cuts it off that blocker, but it would have been a hard cut, and you can see his feet sliding out from underneath him. But they're going to get the first down anyway. Another mistake from Elkins, giving them 5 yards.
That was Connor Ham who jumped off. Yeah, they had a 4th down and 3. You get the 5 yards, they'll give you a first down.
Defense.
Yeah, remember earlier on the first drive, they had a 3rd and 7. They jumped offside, made it 3rd and 2, and they were able to convert. So 2 offside penalties have helped Arkadelphia pick up their first downs.
So the ball will be moved up to the 43-yard line. 3 wide, go to the right side. Looking to throw, going big ball, has a man down at the 26, and he's going to walk the dog into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Arkadelphia. Jay Purifoy getting his 13th touchdown of the season.
Elkins brought a little heat. Arkadelphia picked it up, gave the quarterback time to throw, and hit him in stride.
First points of the ball game go to Arkadelphia. I'm going to get Tyler Cass to go over to the Arkadelphia sideline. The quarterback, Bryson McCoy, came limping off the field back at the 37-yard line. Just make sure he's okay to move forward as the extra point is up. And it is good, and Arkadelphia strikes first. They lead it 7-0 with 5:54 to play here in the quarter. And you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
Willie Nelson is one of country music's greatest legends. For his 90th birthday, I'm crazy. A star-studded lineup performed his greatest songs. A stunning once-in-a-lifetime performance. Willie Nelson's 90th birthday celebration.
Tonight at 9:30.
This month on Arkansas PBS. It's a stirring celebration with unforgettable music from the Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square.
We attain wholeness when we can bring joy and light into the world, which is the message of Hanukkah.
Only on Arkansas PBS. Here we go, the energy. Here we go, the energy.
It's time for lunch. How about a little Wendy's? Sounds good, right? Support for Arkansas PBS Sports is provided by Wendy's. Wendy's Salted Caramel Frosty offers the classic Frosty taste with a salted caramel twist. Available for a limited time at participating Wendy's locations.
I saw you eating that Wendy's chili before we started the ball game.
It was good.
It's really good.
It was real good. I got a couple of spicy bites. My nose was running a little bit for a while, but I'm all good now thanks to Wendy's.
Hey, let's take a look at that sack, or not the sack, but the hit after the touchdown throw. And that's on Bryson McCoy. Looks like he got his ankle got taken down a little bit. So we'll have Tyler check on him.
How about that throw, though? Pressure coming. He stepped into it and delivered it right on the money. And Purifoy's their big play wide receiver. He made the first big play.
Molinari's going to put a foot into it for Arkadelphia. It's going to hit down at the 23 and go out of bounds at the 20. And so Elkins, they're going to have great field position to start their second drive of the ball game.
You could hear the Arkadelphia coaches yelling them, get down there, get down there. They were trying to recover that pooch kick. And if it
Holy plate, 35-yard line, first down.
Yeah, Arkadelphia's got a great shot to get that ball. Well, so Elkins is going to have their second shot with 5:54 to play here in the quarter. We saw a lot of Jaquay Walden there on that first drive for them as they'll go 3 wide to the left side. Napier going to look to throw, goes downfield, has a man. That's James Townsend, who's going to cross the 50-yard line into Arkadelphia territory at the 48. Quintavion Morrison is going to be there for the stop.
Townsend doing a little bit of everything. We saw him make a special teams tackle that saved a touchdown. He's over there on defense and now on offense. Townsend with 64 catches, 594 yards coming into this game, 8 touchdowns. And that was a good throw from Napier. He stepped into it with pressure in his face.
Here's Townsend on the end around. Trying to make the corner. Got about 3, maybe 4 yards until Braden Wagner came in to make the stop.
You saw the team speed of Arkadelphia right there. They just kept stretching it out, and just nowhere really to go. And Wagner makes a good tackle for a short gain.
So it's a pickup of 2 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 8. They're going to go back with Walden this time. He'll make the edge, but he'll only get out to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 2 yards. And Malachi Hamilton came up to make the stop.
Elkins obviously likes running over that left side, that left tackle, the left guard. They had guys pulling. But Arkadelphia, hey, they did a really good job of shedding one of those blockers. I think that was McClure got off the block.
Here's a 3rd down and 7. Napier goes right side. Intended target was Landon Martin. He overthrows him. Now they've got another 4th down. LJ Faulkner, who came in for the coverage. So now you've got a 4th down and 7.
They can go for it, right?
I mean, you would think. Well, it looks like they're going to bring on the punting unit. They went for it earlier.
Yeah, they were about the 30-yard line when they went for it. And it was 4th and, what, 20?
Yeah.
I thought maybe they'd try the field goal after watching their kicker make a 45, 46-yarder in practice, but they went for it on 4th down.
Braden Wagner is back deep as Stephen Taylor. He'll get a high snap, puts a foot into it. He'll take an Elkins roll inside the 20. Down inside the 15, still rolling all the way down to the 10.
Got away with one there. Bad snap. It was very high. Arkadelphia didn't have a lot of pressure coming after the punter. They may come after the punter from now on after watching that bad snap. If they would have been coming, they had a chance to tackle the punter before he even kicked it. But he gets it off, and then a very fortunate roll. And you could hear our mics down on the field, all the coaches yelling, Peter, 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 letting the players know, get away from the ball, get away, just run to the sideline.
Hey, let's go down to Tyler Cass as Arkadelphia comes back on the field. Tyler.
Yeah, guys, not just Arkadelphia, but Bryson going back out there to lead the offense. Just some soreness in his leg. He's been walking up and down the sideline, keeping it, nice and limber. He did get some tape on his left ring finger. He cut it on a helmet. Other than that, he's good to go. You see him complete a pass right there.
Thank you, Tyler. Connor Ham there to make the stop for Elkins after about a 3-yard pickup to bring up 2nd down.
Good open field tackle from Ham. Got the receiver out there one-on-one. If he's able to make a move, he's able to pick up the 1st down, but quickly he was on Orion Roberts and made the tackle.
Quick throw right there as they were trying to hook up with Quintavion Morris. It's incomplete, but James Martin was in on the coverage, and now you've got a 3rd down and 6. Ball may have been deflected at the line of scrimmage, and so you've got a 3rd down and 6 with the ball at the 13-yard line. McCoy going to look to throw in and out of the hands of his intended target.
That's where you see the wet ball come into play right there. And I've even heard some of the coaches talking about new footballs that they play with in these state championship games. And you combine a new kind of slick football with the wet turf, and it makes it tougher to catch. And went right through his hands. A little high, would have been a tough catch, but probably one of those he feels like he should have caught.
That was Braden Wagner who was going to be the intended target. Now here's a punt for Arkadelphia. It'll be taken at the 45. Bringing it up for the Elks is Townsend. And he'll work it back inside the 40-yard line to the 39, but they're going to have great field position as Maddox Finley came in to make the stop. The Elks have had great field position almost on every drive that they've had in this game. But they trail right now to Arkadelphia 7-0.
Little field position battle going right now. That's why they chose to punt. Try to pin them deep, get a 3 and out, get the ball back right about where they were. New set of downs. Notice that time Arkadelphia They punted it really quick. It was a lot quicker than the first time. I think that's what caused him to miss the ball a little bit. He was trying to quick kick.
So it's a 1st down and 10. They're going to give it off to Walden. Straight ahead after making it to the outside. Ball on the turf. And Arkadelphia, did they come up with it?
Yeah, they got it. They're running to the sideline with it.
They blew it dead. Arkadelphia is going to get the football at the 34-yard line.
It's number 13 for Arkadelphia with the ball. Amari Ford must have recovered it.
There's a player down for Arkadelphia, down to 33. He was on the bottom of that pile when the ball came out. They are going to say it's Arkadelphia football. Unless I can't quite see
the number on it. I thought I saw an 8. Is that an 80? I don't want to speculate, scare anybody yet.
Looks like it is Xavier Williams, the defensive lineman.
They rolled him over, so that's good to see.
But, you know, going back to the turnover, that's one thing that you don't see a lot of, Wes. Jaquay Walden turning over the football. He's only had one fumble all season long and has a costly one right here in the state championship game.
Oh, helmet on the ball. What just a form tackle that time from Quintavious Morris. And that knocks it loose. Arkadelphia recovers, and
I'm wondering why they blew the play dead, because the ball was not under anybody when it was recovered. I think that's why Arkadelphia ran downfield.
I could not see the recovery. I was so focused on the big hit that caused the fumble.
But either way, Arkadelphia has the football at the 34-yard line.
Maybe look, I don't know what they would look at though, because they blew the play dead. They're changing out footballs. That's what they blew the play dead, so Arkadelphia could change out, get a drive football out there.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Back come the Badgers as McCoy's in at the shotgun position. And I hand it off to Reed. He'll work right side. He'll pick up about 3, and then Brooks Williams is there to make the stop.
Arkadelphia trying to establish that running game. Been able to do it a little bit more consistently now.
4 wide, come to the near side. McCoy under pressure, and he falls down. Ball's out. They're going to say that. Is it going to be a turnover, Wes?
I think so. They threw the bag like it was a fumble. It was very awkward how he fell and lost the ball. It was almost, I hate to say it because he's my buddy, but it was almost Clint Sterner-esque.
Brooke Williams was in there to make the stop. Let's take a look right here.
He just tripped over his own feet, RJ, right there, kind of lost it.
That's a fumble.
And when he's going down, he put the ball down to catch himself and lost the ball.
Now, there are reviews in the state championship game that can be either challenged on the field or it can be sent down from the booth. But Elkins once again going to get great field position as the ball is going to be down at the 20-yard line.
It's 2 fumbles in 3 plays.
Yeah.
Traded fumbles, and Elkins gets the benefit of an additional probably about 10 yards. So they take over at the 20.
Quay Walden is the running back. They're going to look to throw. They come left side, and it's intercepted.
A double move. Corner was beaten a little bit, but the ball was behind him, behind the wide receiver. The cornerback, Orion Roberts, makes the pick, and that is 3 turnovers in 4 plays.
Roberts got inside position, made the interception, and so now Arkadelphia gets the ball back at the 20-yard line.
The receiver was open. It was a double move, a little fake and go, but you see the throw was just behind him, and the cornerback does a great job of getting his head around, looking for the ball. That's why they coach you to do that. Turn your head around, look for the ball. Orion came in with 1 interception on the year. He just doubled it, and he makes one in the biggest game of the year.
So it's a 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. McCoy looking to throw, has his man at the 30. That time hooking up with Purifoy, and Dominic Morgan made the stop for the Elks.
Poor Floyd just went down the field about 11, 12 yards, turned around, found a hole, sat down in it, and he delivered a strike. That was an easy toss and throw.
From the 33, gonna look to throw again. Come back right side, he dropped it. That time Braden Wagner was the intended target. Morgan was on coverage. And it was just a simple comeback route. Comes back, makes the catch, you have another first down.
Yeah, Arkadelphia's got a little something going in the passing game. He had receivers open on the left side too. Now his intended receiver was open also. They may start throwing this ball around a little bit more.
4 wide in the formation. As Finley was the man in motion, they trying to hook up that time with their intended target, Morris. And so now that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10.
He threw a fastball there, and he could have just thrown a little changeup, and it zipped through the receiver's hands, went a little high on him. And that's the challenge is, yeah, you're getting guys open. You know, the footing is tough out there right now, so it's harder on the defense because they're trying to react to what the offense is doing. The receivers know where they're going, so they're able to keep their footing.
3 receivers in the bottom side of the formation. Moody's in at running back. As McCoy's going to look to throw, it's deflected at the line of scrimmage. Put his hand up there was Brooks Williams, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 10.
Yeah, felt like they had a little something going there. They just started clicking, but the drops and throw high, and all of a sudden you're in 3rd and long, tip pass, and you're going to have to punt.
I tell you, one thing we didn't talk a lot about with these 2 teams is their defense. Elkins came in the ball game only giving up 10.7 points per game. Arkadelphia was giving up 15 a game. Direct snap to the running back. He didn't know he was getting it. And he'll be taken down at the 30-yard line. Hiracha, he's the one that made the snap. Wes, I don't think he thought he was getting the ball.
It was very awkward.
Here's the snap.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's like, what do I do with it?
I don't know if that was a fake, but they're not blocking like it's a fake and he's supposed to run with it. They were blocking to punt. So I think it's just a bad snap that went to him, and he caught it. Was like, well, what do I do with it?
So Elkins has the football. It's 1st and 10 from the 30. Going to go back to Walden. He'll work left side. He slips down after the pursuit was there, taken down at the 24-yard line.
That's exactly what we're talking about right there, that wet turf. He tried to make a hard cut, get inside his blocker and find the end zone. And as soon as he made that cut, his feet went out from underneath him.
Wes, as much as we've played on this end of the field, you'd think it'd be dried out by now. Here's another handoff to Walden straight ahead. He'll pick up a couple on the play to bring up a 3rd down. It was Hamilton there to make the stop.
One of the few times Elkins has decided to run right. And he had some blockers out there, and he just, on his own, cut it back to the left and right up the middle. And Arkadelphia was waiting for him. Probably should have followed his blockers that time.
So it's a 3rd down and 2 with the ball at the 22-yard line. And now we've got penalty flags down.
Elkins has had 2 costly penalties on defense that hurt him with first downs. This may hurt them on offense. Nope.
Offense lined up over the football. 3rd down.
Oh, lined up offsides. So it may have been the receiver. I couldn't tell who it was. Probably a receiver out wide, just lined up offsides.
So that backs him up 5 yards. So now you go from a 3rd down and 2 to a 3rd down and 7 with the ball at the 27-yard line.
Probably 2 down territory here.
Ben Napier, the quarterback, gonna look to throw. Comes across the middle of the field. His intended target was Haywood. And now you've got 4th down and 7.
Badgers brought the pressure. They came right up the middle, blitz 2 right up the middle. Davian Hall was one of them. He's got 9 quarterback hurries and 7 tackles and blitzed right up the middle. Napier just tried to get rid of the ball and didn't really have anybody there.
So this year for Elkins on 4th down, they've been completing 53% of their 4th down conversion.
That was Malachi Hamilton. Had my sheet turned over for Arkadelphia. That was blitzing up the middle.
4th down and 7. Napier's going to look to throw. Napier under pressure, going right side. He's got a man right side, but it's deflected away at the last minute. Coming up to make it For Arkadelphia, it was Amari Ford, the defensive back, who just threw a right hand up, knocked it down, and it's a turnover on downs, and Arkadelphia is going to get the football back.
Just a long throw for Napier, and he put a lot of air under it. That ball was in the air for a long time. The receiver that time, Brad Walker, was wide open. I mean, there was nobody within 10 yards of him, but because there was so much air underneath the ball, that gave Amari Ford plenty of time to get over there, and I thought he may pick it off. He just went up, knocked it down. Probably the smart move since it was 4th down.
So Arkadelphia is going to go 5 wide in the formation as Roberts will go in motion from left to right. And the receiver fell down. The defensive back was not looking at the ball, and it hit him in the head. That was Davian Hall, who was the defensive back.
It hit him right square in the helmet. But once again, this reminds me of the Thursday night NFL game with the 49ers. The 49ers and the Rams.
Yes.
That rain, and it was just a defensive battle. That's all we've seen. We've seen players slipping. It's hard to catch. It's a defensive battle right now.
Here's a handoff to Reed straight ahead as he'll take it out out to the 35-yard line. You know, you don't think, you know, every year whenever you're a senior and they make you like a highlight reel of your time in high school, that might end up being on his highlight reel whenever he walks across the stage.
Maybe the last one.
Yeah, the very last
highlight.
one, yeah.
Certainly it'll be there if they end up winning.
Yeah, for sure.
If they lose, maybe not.
3rd down and 3. Here's a pitch to Roberts. He'll pick up about a yard on the play.
With these conditions, easy choice is just to run the ball, run the ball. But these defenses are both so good at stopping the run, it is hard to get first downs consistently. And that's what Arkadelphia's tried, mixing in a little throwing, and we've seen Elkins trying to throw it a little bit. But
I'm impressed with the speed of the defense for both these two teams. So it's a 4th down and 2. 4 wide in the formation. Reed is the running back. They're going to hand it to him. Straight ahead, he'll have the first down after the 40-yard line. Ham comes up to make the stop for Elkins.
Tell you what, that was a big first down. Arkadelphia needed that. They have somehow managed to keep Elkins off the scoreboard in this first quarter with all the mistakes that they've made, the turnovers, the block punt, the whatever that was on the last punt, the miscommunication. Their defense has stepped up, gotten a couple turnovers, gotten a couple stops inside the 30-yard line, and first quarter is going to end with Elkins staying on this end of the field on offense, but not getting any points.
We have not moved off of this end of the field the entire game, and we end one quarter of play where Arkadelphia, they lead at 7-0 in the 4A state championship game. You're watching the Centennial Bank Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
First responders put their lives on the line for us every single day. And in uncertain times, we lean on these heroes to help restore stability. As a key component of a strong community, you will find stability at the core of Centennial Bank. Here, we believe in supporting those that help provide a safe and secure community for us to thrive in. Your financial safety and security should not be overlooked. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryant. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryant. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
This is the end of the road for football season, but the guys that play on the hardwood, they're just getting warmed up.
Here comes Gaines. He's going to slam it home. Send it inside. Good passing, and look at the cover.
Before you know it, they'll be invading Bank OZK Arena in Hot Springs for the Centennial Bank State Basketball Finals. 12 championship games in 3 days. Mid-March is going to be electric. Tip-off is set for March 13th, and it's going to run all weekend long. For all the ways to watch, just log on myarpbs.org/sports.
The Arkansas PBS Student All-Star is Creed Vega out of Dardanelle. The junior quarterback, 4.0 GPA, heck of a player. He can run it and he can throw it. He wants to be a football coach. Be like his dad.
Be just like his dad.
Be like his dad. Become a football coach.
You know, and not only can he do offensive things, he's really good on the defensive side as well, yeah.
I know the Touchdown Club honored him 1 week. Fearless Friday honored him 1 week as our player of the week. It's a super young man.
Here's Arkadelphia to start the second quarter of play. They're going to air it out, and it'll just be a little too much as Jay Purifoy was the intended target that time.
They had him. They had Purifoy again, and I think McCoy's eyes lit up a little bit, and he chunked that one. Purifoy's fast, but not that fast.
You know, Wes, the last time Arkadelphia won a state championship was in 2018. They went back-to-back in 17 and 18. And all the players on the field right now were 5th and 6th graders. As here's a play that goes left side to Moody, and Morgan was there to make the stop. But talking to some of these players and coaches, they were all 5th and 6th graders. They remember it because they were in the stands.
Yeah. No, that's a great motivational, right?
Yeah.
You're here watching. One day, I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
One day, it just helps. That's the tradition of Arkadelphia football right there.
And you know what's crazy? You and I were calling the 17 and 18 state championship games when those guys were 5th and 6th graders. So it's 3rd down and 8. They're going to set up a screen, but it was deflected away. That time for Elkins, it was Walden who deflected it. And that'll bring up a 4th down now for Arkadelphia.
Elkins has been able to get their hands up several times today and get a tip pass. And they haven't been able to get to McCoy like they want to, but they're doing a good job of deflecting the passes.
Looks like Arkadelphia may punt this one, and they will. Ball's going to hit down at the 34 and go out of bounds inside the 30 at around the 29. And so Elkins will have the football with 11:15 left here in the second quarter. Arkadelphia leading 7-0.
I like how he kicked it away that time. He didn't want any kind of a return possible. And Townsend's already shown that he can run with the ball. So he just kicked it away from him, went out of bounds. Try to play a little field position, see if that defense can't get a stop and get them the ball back.
So it's a 1st down and 10 with the ball at the 29-yard line. 4 receivers in the formation. Napier going to hand it off to Walden. Straight ahead he goes, crosses the 35, and is taken down to 33. Probably one of the best runs he's had so far in this game.
Yeah, first 2 plays of the game were very successful, and that time he started left and cut it right back up the middle, had a big hole, and picked up 9 yards.
Here on 2nd down, they're going to go back to Walden. Comes right side, the pursuit's there, but he's able to get the 1st down after picking up 3 yards on the play.
Looked like they had him stop that time, and he was going to be short of the 1st down. He just kind of put his shoulder down, started leaning, backing up a little bit, picked up the 1st down.
Ball at the 42-yard line. Napier going to look to throw, comes right side, has his man, that's Martin.
Martin ran a great route. And that was a good throw. It was one of those timing play, and the timing was right on. Takes his drop, goes back, hits that back foot, and just let it rip.
Kelton Wilson was there on the coverage and made the stop. 3 wide, come to the near side. Back to Walton they go. Walden crosses the 40. They've got a little bit of momentum right now as he takes it down to the 38-yard line.
And we can hear those Elkins fans starting to get a little excited. They picked up a couple of 1st downs. Got a little momentum going. That offense is feeling a little better about itself.
2nd down and 2. Napier going to look to throw. Just going to have to throw it away. As great coverage that time by Arkadelphia.
Yeah, there were 3 receivers, 4 receivers out, and they were surrounded. There was nowhere to go with the ball. Napier stayed in the pocket for as long as possible. That clock started ticking in his brain. He was like, I got to get out of here and get rid of it.
You know, the top 2 targets for Elkins this year have been Landon Martin and James Townsend, and Arkadelphia's done a good job of covering them up, and they do a good job here defending the run is Jaquay Walden. He goes down for a big loss. Quintavian Morris comes up to make the stop. It's 4th down for Elkins.
Morris leads the team in tackles. The junior came into the game with 104 tackles, 7 sacks. They like to bring on the blitz. We've seen it one time already. That time they did it again. They brought 2 right up the middle. Elkins stopped 1, but not both, and makes the play in the backfield, 4th and long.
Elkins going to go for it on 4th down and 8. They've got 3 receivers to the bottom side of your screen. Napier's going to look to throw. Under pressure, was hit when he threw it, and it's in and out of the hands of his intended target, Landon Martin, on that right side.
Tell you what, that was a good throw. Hit Martin in the hands. He was going down to the ground trying to catch that ball and just couldn't come up with it.
Kelton Wilson, once again on the coverage, had tight coverage on the receiver. And so now it's a turnover on downs, and Arkadelphia is going to have the football back at the 44-yard line.
Badgers defense stepped up. Looked like Elkins had a little something going. We've seen Elkins punt from that, around the 40, play a little field position, but they felt like offensively they were clicking.
Here's a pass play that comes left side. They cross the 50-yard line. And for Arkadelphia that time, I believe
it was Finley.
Yeah, that was Finley who was able to make that catch. We'll check in with Tyler here in just a moment as we go right side. That time Finley was the intended target and got knocked away. Coming up was Jeb Slaughter.
Slaughter came through to knock it down. The Arkadelphia fans are looking for a flag. They thought he got there a little too quick. Kind of came through the receiver as he was trying to make that catch. I think it's a good call. I think it's a good play.
Yeah, I thought it was great coverage.
Yeah.
So it's 3rd down and 3 now. Gonna hand it to Reed straight ahead, and he's actually probably gonna lose a yard. As coming up to make the stop was Harasha.
Elkins got a little penetration that time into the backfield. It'll make Arkadelphia think about this. It's 4th and 3 at midfield. They're being aggressive.
Arkadelphia looks like they're going to go for it. And now a penalty flag comes out, and once again, Elkins jumps off sides on a 4th down and short for Arkadelphia.
Our mics are good, but I can't hear the quarterback. He must have a great call.
While we assess the penalty, let's check in with Tyler Cass on the sidelines. Tyler.
Yeah, guys, I don't know how well your cameras can pick it up. The rain stopped around kickoff, but it's picked up just the slightest in the last, 15 minutes or so. I'd say nothing more than spitting, but it's enough that everything has stayed slick. We saw it with all those turnovers, and now it's just been an assembly line on both sidelines trying to get drive footballs in as quick as possible.
Thank you, Tyler. McCoy's going to step up for about a 1-yard gain. We'll check in with Tyler here in a little bit, but I am curious, Tyler, if you can hear the snap count like Wes was talking about from Arkadelphia, because he's done it a couple times now, Wes.
3. And those are big.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 4th and 3, and you get to stop there at midfield. Instead, you just hand them the 1st down.
2nd down and 9. McCoy looking to throw, comes back left side, just slings it out of bounds. Almost threw it in the first row of that east side.
Thought he was going to take off and run with it that time, but he stopped on that right side and turned back around and just said, I'm getting rid of this.
Wes, this is now the 2nd week of championships, and this is the 3rd sophomore quarterback that we've seen in the state finals, and just the poise. I mean, he looks like he's a junior, senior out there playing quarterback for this Arkadelphia team.
Yeah, it was in a quarterback battle over the summer with Maddox Finley and won the competition. Finley won the receiver spot. Try that screen again. They just can't get that screen set up.
That was Jaquay Walden who came in and blew that play up, and now you've got another 4th down.
Elkins has done a great job on the screen. One time they batted it down. That time they had it well defended. There was nowhere to throw the ball. And punt it this time, 4th and 9. Play field position, try to pin them deep.
I think the way their defense has been playing, though, he might take a shot, but they are going to line up McCoy a little bit deeper, and he'll stick a foot into it. It'll hit down at the 21, take an Arkadelphia roll inside the 15, and it'll be killed dead at the 13, and that's where Elkins will have it, 1st and 10 with 7:32. I want to go back down to Tyler Cash real quick. And Tyler, we were talking about that snap count for Arkadelphia. Are you hearing, can you hear his cadence down at the line of scrimmage?
It's not just how loud it is, it's the change. From first down, second down to third down and fourth down, you can definitely notice he's a lot louder. And of course, the Elkins, probably a little hyped up to be playing in their first state title game. I think that's kind of combined for all the jumps.
Thank you, Tyler. So it's first down and 10 from the 13-yard line. Ben Napier going to come out throwing as he'll have a man, that's Haywood. And Haywood going to be knocked down at the 18-yard line. It was Reese Campbell.
It's a good play on first down. Pick you up 5 yards or so.
They go back to Walden. He'll get to the 20-yard line, spin forward out to the 22. It's a 4-yard pickup.
Malachi Hamilton laid a pretty big lick on him, but I tell you what, Walden just kind of bounced off of it, spun off of it, fell forward, and picked up some yards. Looked like it was going to be no gain when Hamilton hit him right there. Keeps his legs moving. Positive yards.
So now you've got a 3rd down and 1 with the ball at the 22-yard line. Going to go back to Walden. And he just lowers his shoulder to get the first down as he'll take it out to the 24-yard line. Braden Wagner comes up to make the stop.
Good hard run there. That's why he's got 22 rushing touchdowns. You get down near to the goal line, he lowers his pads, gets his weight over his toes, and he is a load.
You know, they quit putting heights and weights on rosters, but he is a brick wall. Good looking running back for this Elkins team. So it's first down and 10. Napier's going to look to throw, comes back right side, and just overthrows Landon Martin that time.
Walden's also a personal protector for the quarterback. He stands back there and helps pick up the blitz for Napier, and that time he rolled right with him, was out there just in case somebody came up to protect his quarterback. It's a good protector to have.
He delivers blows. He protects his quarterback. It's a heck of a running back for the Elkins. Here's Napier going to throw back right side and has Walker. And now we've got a penalty flag down as he crosses the 30-yard line. Quintavian Morris came in to make the stop, but I believe we're going to see a little face mask action.
Yeah, he made the tackle with the face mask. You see the wet conditions there. He just tried to stop him, just kept flying by him. He reaches out and grabs whatever he can to make the tackle and grab the face mask.
15-yard penalty results in a first down.
So that moves Elkins out to the 46-yard line.
That was the first penalty of the game for Arkadelphia.
Yeah. Here's a handoff to Walden. Straight ahead, he'll pick up about 3 yards on the play as he gets close to the 50-yard line. Coming in to make the stop, Xavier Williams. Zach Watson, the head football coach for Elkins, done a heck of a job with the Elks this year. Trying to keep that undefeated season going. It's a 2nd down and 7. They go to Walden. Right side, stays on his feet. Crosses the 50 as he takes it down to the 47.
Once again, you saw the power and the running of Walden. He got hit, broke a tackle, got another 3 yards. Those just start to add up after a while.
Braden Wagner comes in to make the stop. Now you've got a 3rd down and 2. Gonna hand it off as Walden makes a spin move. Nice move to the outside, picks up big yardage, gets the first down and much more.
That was all Walden. Arkadelphia played a little line game there. They had some stunts going on, broke free. They had him in the backfield, but Walden breaks the tackle, bounces it outside, picks up the first down. Nowhere to go. They just rolled off of it, got to the outside.
Kelton Wilson comes in to make the stop. Working quickly, they go back to Walden. He's bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. There's a host of Badgers who came in to make the stop on that one, but leading the way, it was Wimberly. And so now you've got a 2nd down and long for Elkins.
Nakeeson Wimberly gets in the backfield and is like, you know what? That spin move worked last time, not this time. I got you.
Elkins is going to go 5 wide in the formation this time. It's a 2nd down and 14 with the ball at the 38-yard line. And Napier's going to keep it himself, and he'll get back inside the 35 to the 34 to bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Just a little design quarterback draw that time. Motion the running back out, see if the linebacker goes with him, if the middle's wide open. He just keeps it, gets what he can, makes it, at least 3rd and manageable. Picks up some of those lost yards on the tackle in the backfield.
I would venture to say, Wes, that for Elkins, they've gone for it all over the field. This is 4-down territory for the Elks.
A lot depends on this play. If you get a sack here and it's 3rd and longer, I think you punt. But if you can pick up about half the yards, get some positive yards, we're going to go for it.
So we've got a timeout on the field, and it's charged to Elkins.
But, they may decide to punt, because you think about it, with 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the half, you may want to use some of the clock, punt, pin them deep, and try to keep them out of the end zone. Get your live action photos from the game at myarpbs.org/photos. Grab free downloads, have prints made. These are great championship keepsakes. Go check it out, myarpbs.org/photos.
Well, we've got 3 minutes and 42 seconds left. Elkins called that timeout, so to talk this one over on a 3rd down and 10. Both defenses have been impressive so far in this one. As Elkins will break the huddle, and they'll have the ball at the 34-yard line. Walden is the running back. And they'll go with a direct snap straight to him, and it's over his head. Ball's on the turf. Arkadelphia is going to come up with it.
May have to look at it to see if he was down and have possession of the ball. It seemed like a bang-bang play, but Walden lined up his quarterback, direct snap to him, and it was just a bad snap. Here's a look at the replay. It goes over his head. Let's see, is he down and have it? I don't think so. I think he was falling down. I don't think that knee was down from that angle. Here's another look at it. Check his knee when he goes down. Is he down? I think he was losing the ball. I think this is Arkadelphia's ball.
That was Skylar McClure who came up with it. We'll take a break. 3:37 to play here in the 2nd quarter. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
I think sports are really big to a lot of people, and because it's an important part of our fabric in our community. And the one good thing about what I've seen is it's high quality production. You think of the small communities all over Arkansas, it's a big deal that they can turn on the TV or DVR or whatever and know they're going to get a quality product. And so I think it just expands the focus of what PBS is doing. Arkansas PBS is doing a great job, and I think it's part of education.
Let's head down to Tyler Cass down the sidelines. He's got an update from the Arkadelphia sidelines.
Yeah, guys, you mentioned about a possession ago that no one on this Arkadelphia team has played at War Memorial. They were all in middle school last time. This senior class, though, they remember 2 years ago, a semifinal where they had a 3-touchdown lead on Harding Academy and ended up losing on a last-second field goal. It's that loss, they say, has driven them here to a state title game today.
Thank you, Tyler. It's 1st down and 10 for Arkadelphia from the 46-yard line after the turnover.
I remember that game against Harding Academy. We had a reporter there, and he sent me the halftime score, and I was like, oh, wow. Well, good for Arkadelphia. They're going to the state finals. And then here comes Harding Academy.
Completely different second.
Yes. Yeah, what a great comeback for Harding Academy and a learning lesson for Arkadelphia.
Here's a run play for Arkadelphia to start their drive, as that was Blake Moody. Jeb Slaughter comes in to make the stop.
Tell you what, I thought they had something going there, and Slaughter came out of nowhere and makes the tackle. That was a great open field tackle. Looked like they had it sealed off. Comes in low, makes a tackle for no gain.
4 wide, they go back to Moody, straight ahead. He's trying to push the pile, and he'll pick up a couple on the play to bring up a 3rd down now for Arkadelphia.
Moody broke his thumb earlier in the season and missed a lot of playing time. Actually started playing a little defense because he had a big cast on his hand. Couldn't run with the ball, but obviously the cast is off, and now he gets to play a little running back, gives Kyle Reed a little break from time to time.
So you've got a 3rd down and 8. Clock running at 2:45. McCoy going to look to throw. Middle of the field. He kind of threw it in between 2 receivers, and so that'll bring up a 4th down.
Miscommunication there. He threw it, thought the receiver was doing something else, and just had this befuddled look on his face like, what's going on? What happened there? I think you got to punt this, RJ. It's 4th and 8, midfield. You got to punt it and play a little defense this last 2.5 minutes.
And that's exactly what Arkadelphia looks like they're doing. They line McCoy up. He's also their punter, and he kicks it right in the back of the offensive lineman. Ball still on the turf. It was touched by Elkins, and now Arkadelphia is going to get it back. No, they're going to say, they said it touched an Arkadelphia player. I thought, Wes, there for a moment it touched the backside of as it was rolling around the backside of an Elkins player. We'll take a look.
Yeah, it did. That Elkins player on the ground touched it. That's why he jumped on it real quick, saying that Elkins touched it.
So that's where it was touched by the Elkins player.
But once it hits the offensive player in the back, I think it's a free, it's almost like when you go down and you touch it and just leave it there, then Elkins could pick it up, do whatever with, and nothing can happen because technically the play would be stopped right there for when it hits your own teammate.
Makes complete sense. So now you've got Elkins with the football. 2:31 to play left here in the second, as it is Walden who's going to get the handoff, and he'll take it ahead for 2 yards.
He got popped. Did the helmet come off? What came flying? Maybe it was just a piece of equipment. That was a hard hit. Malachi Hamilton coming up. That was just his head going backwards.
There's some hard hits being made so far in this one.
Was a form tackle.
Here's Walden again, straight ahead, crosses the 35. Going to take it to the 34-yard line.
Man, kudos to this Arkadelphia defense. And, I talked to Coach Shucker earlier in the week, and I said, these offenses, everybody loves offense and scoring, but to me, it's defense. He's like, you're exactly right, Wes. These are 2 good defenses, and we've seen that today. The conditions are tough, but this Arkadelphia defense, time and time again, so far, has been able to come up with the big stop.
3rd down and 5. Going to hand it off to Walden, and he's going to be bottled up well behind the line of scrimmage. Coming up to make the stop for Arkadelphia was LaJovis Moody. I mean, look at Moody. He flew over an offensive lineman to get to him to make the tackle for a loss.
So much penetration, the entire Arkadelphia defense, and it just caused him to have to bounce it back. I'm surprised Arkadelphia's not taking a timeout here. They're letting Elkins just run. I think both teams are just like, let's get to the hat. Let's just get to the locker room. We'll discuss things, try to figure things out offensively. But Arkadelphia's done the job once again on defense. They've been put in so many difficult situations in this first half, and they have stepped up every single time.
And they're going to call a timeout with 45 seconds
timeout.
Left
Elkins.
Here in the quarter.
That's their second charge timeout.
And Zach Watson,
it's a tough call here. I know they want to go for this. They at 4th and 14, they want to try to get a first down and get some points before the end of the half. But if you don't get it, and let's say the play takes 8 seconds, Arkadelphia will get the ball around the 40-yard line, close to midfield. Heck, if there's a sack, around midfield with 35, 37 seconds. And we've seen they can throw the ball, and they've hit Purifoy for the big touchdown play. they've got some explosive plays. I'd hate to give the ball back to Arkadelphia here. I think the smart thing, the easy thing to do is just punt it, pin them deep, and if you do that and Arkadelphia's got the ball around their 10, they may just take a knee and go to the half.
Yeah, no, I agree. By the way, you know, Zach Watson, the head football coach for Elkins, was the quarterback at Hector, and they actually played in the finals and lost to Shiloh Christian, which is weird, really weird to think Shiloh and Hector would be ever playing in a finals together. But Zach Watson, no stranger to a state championship game. So here it is, 4th down and 14, and they're going to punt it. Braden Wagner back deep. It is a high punt. Fair caught at the 15. He'll carry him back to the 14, and that's where Arkadelphia will have it with 37 seconds to play here in the second quarter.
Elkins only has one timeout, so if Arkadelphia just wants to go to the half with 37 seconds, they can just take a knee or just hand it off. I don't know, with the wet weather conditions, wet football. We've seen so many balls on the turf and fumbles. You know, if you're not going to be aggressive and try to, you know, throw something here, I wouldn't even take a chance of just running it up the middle like so many teams do. Let's go the half with 7-0. We got the lead.
By the way, I want to say hello to my buddy Tommy Gillerin, the Lake Hamilton football coach. He's watching here on Arkansas PBS. Hopefully his knee surgery is getting better. Here's a handoff as he'll make it out to the 16-yard line. Brings up a 2nd down, and I don't think the aggression that we thought we were going to see is not going to take place unless they, you know, you kind of lull them to sleep with a run and then come over the top.
I think Arkadelphia is very happy to be leading this game 7-0. I wouldn't say very happy. They're very happy with their defense. They want to score some points, but this isn't the position to do it. And both teams are going to head to the locker room.
Well, that's going to do it for the first half of play. Arkadelphia, they lead at 7-0 over Elkins. Tyler Cass going to hook up with Trey Shucker, the head football coach for Arkadelphia, as his team is going to head to the halftime locker room up 7-0. And Wes, you know, I believe that Tyler's got coach now. We'll get to our comments here in a moment. Take it away, Tyler.
Hey guys, I'm here with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. Coach, almost a frustrating back and forth half of football there. I mean, how much is the weather playing a factor?
Honestly, I think it's not at this point. The weather stopped. I mean, the rain, it's not raining anymore. I don't think the weather's anything. I think it's pretty normal football right now.
What do you guys have to kind of clean up in the locker room here?
There's a lot to clean up. I mean, for one, our punt unit right now is embarrassing. It's worst, some of the worst I've seen in a long time, but we hadn't had to do it a whole lot this year. So, but that's the first thing we got to clean up. What'll cure that is if we move the football and got first downs, didn't have to do it. But our defense playing phenomenal right now. I mean, we kept 0 on the board for Elkins for the first half. Our defense playing well. They've got us in control right now.
All right, Coach. What's the message as you go into the locker room?
Got to have a big second half. We got to win the second half. Defense got to continue to make plays, got to keep stopping the run, and then offense got to find a way to step up and make a play. We got to have somebody step up and keep putting points on the board.
All right, I'll let you get in there. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Tyler. That was head coach Trey Shucker for Arkadelphia as his team leads at 7-0. Well, we've got an exciting halftime, Wes. Got some great packages put on by Arkansas PBS.
Yeah, we got some good stories coming your way at the half. David Basil's going to introduce us to a football team at the university level in Searcy. I think that would be Harding. They did some great things this season. What another just back-to-back wonderful year at Harding. And Christina Munoz will introduce you to the Arkansas PBS Student All-Star team. Plus a lot more. You'll definitely want to stick around.
Well, we are at the half at 7-0. Arkadelphia leads Elkins in the 4A state championship game. You're watching the Centennial Bank Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Everybody, David Basil here. It's halftime at War Memorial. That means we are back here at Arkansas PBS Studios to share with you a little bit of what we've been working on. In a few minutes, Christina Munoz will introduce you to some all-stars both on the field and in the classroom. We're going to check in on a hot spot in Arkansas football, and we're going to learn a little bit about some Arkansas sports history. But first, starting from scratch can be a struggle, but teamwork makes the dream work. Siloam Springs began this year with their first practice ever for their Special Olympics Unified Cheer team. It took that collaboration all the way to the state finals. Take a look.
Being a cheerleader requires you to how to raise your voice and be as loud as you want.
First year is always the most important year. You know, it's good. You got to get everybody's feet wet.
Okay, let's go to our jumps for a minute. Okay, go to jump.
I always want to be on Dancing with the Stars, so
I really want to get some unified teams going in our community because cheer has always been kind of a big thing in Siloam Springs.
Well, a unified team is Special Olympic partners and peer partners, and they work together to build the routine and compete.
Base for a cheer for the shoulder sit. Yeah, it's like I'm the base and like I'm on my rooftop ladder and someone's on my roof. It's really cool though.
So there's dance, there's tumbling, there's the cheering aspect, there's the stunting. I feel like our cheerleaders sometimes work the hardest because there are so many components to it and they all have to be synchronized and they all have to work together and put out a flawless routine.
Do you like the practices? You like how challenging they can be? You think it could be the lifting or the tumbling? What do you think? Both. Tell them. Both.
Yeah. And from the first practice to state, every single one of them just took ownership of it, and it was like how sports bring people together. That's exactly what cheer has done in our school.
3, 4, get up, go, Siloam, Springs. Siloam, come on, Springs.
You know, the kids were so nervous because they had never competed before like that. I mean, I knew that they were good and I knew that they had a good routine, but I just didn't know what the scoring would be like.
But there wasn't anything that we were expecting, getting out in front of everyone and doing our routine and what we practiced.
We didn't really know what to expect going in, and they rocked it.
We won the state competition in Benton, Arkansas, and took home the gold.
They had the skills, but they also had the drive to be successful, and they all worked together as a team.
And it was like our first year, and so like we proved to a bunch of people that you can do something in a short amount of time.
This team, this high school team, had the overall highest score out of the entire competition, and I think that's what shocked us all the most. And watching them win together was incredible. And now it's like, okay, we got to win again. Like we can't stop now. Now we got to defend it.
1, 2, 3, 4, and here we go!
It's hard to win if you don't practice, and chance of winning are low. That's why we practice. Otherwise, you will be at the competition underprepared.
What I feel like makes practice the most important is that's where the relationships are built, and that's where the trust is built.
it's always important to hang out with the peers that I'm working with. And like Hallie, she's always one of my friends that I always hang out with. She's one of my friends, and I always love her.
Oh, I love you too.
The relationships that we made outweigh any medal that they'll ever win. I mean, don't get me wrong, those gold medals are precious, but I think just the idea of inclusion in the team brought all these kids together from different backgrounds, from different grades. They are so welcoming, they are so loving, and it's just incredible to watch how they have been impacted by this experience. And to see those friendships and to see that joy on their face, that's what makes it worth it.
Siloam Springs will be hosting their own Special Olympics cheer competition on February 27th, 2025. We wish all the teams the best of luck. Now, let's turn to the student athlete with the emphasis on the student part. Christina, what do you got for us?
Thanks, David. We reached out to schools all over the state looking for athletes who not only excel on the field, but in the classroom too. Here's the Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars class of 2024. We're going to start with our 8-man honoree, Hunter May. Hunter is a senior linebacker and tight end for the Midland High School Mustangs. He has a 3.7 grade point average. Following high school, he plans to go into the Army. Out of 2A, let's meet Jaron Thomas. Jaron is a senior quarterback for the Conway Christian High School Eagles. He maintains a 3.2 grade point average, and following high school, he plans to attend college. Moving on to 3A, here's David McCamey with the Charleston Tigers. This senior offensive and defensive lineman boasts a 3.4 GPA. After high school, he wants to attend college and teach and coach. Our 4A All-Star this year is Creed Vega. Creed is a junior quarterback, running back, and linebacker for the Dardanelle Sand Lizards. He has a 4.0 grade point average. Following high school, Creed plans to play college football and coach football as well. Coming around to 5A, we have Maddox Hampton of the Nettleton High School Raiders. Maddox is a senior quarterback and has a 3.85 grade point average. After high school, he plans to attend college at UA Rich Mountain to play baseball. The 6A representative this season is Magnus Golden. This senior defensive end and fullback for the Russellville High School Cyclones maintains a 3.8 grade point average. Magnus plans to go to college and play football while earning a degree in engineering. And finally, we wrap up with our 7A All-Star, Rhett Tidwell. Rhett is the senior linebacker for the Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. He has a 3.8 grade point average. After high school, he plans to attend college and major in business. Congratulations to all of this year's honorees. Way to go. You know, we may see some of these faces again in April here on Arkansas PBS for Quiz Bowl. Now, if you haven't seen Quiz Bowl, you'll want to make a note to watch this year. Some of the smartest high school students in the state meet up right here in this studio and square off, not only for bragging rights, but for some pretty big checks too. And it is all live right here on Arkansas PBS. Now let's throw it back to Baz for a look at another hot spot for Arkansas football.
Thanks, Christina. You know, they say big things come in small packages. And in the town of Searcy, there is one school proving that to be even more true. The Harding Bisons, a small school breaking NCAA records and making national headlines with their very unique brand of bison ball.
You know, there's some things that I think, you know, should be told. We've got a special group, and but it's hard to win. You know, the path certainly seems easier once you've been there, I can tell you that.
You know, we got a fantastic coaching staff here. You know, and everybody in America talks about culture and brotherhood and family. It's something that we refine on a daily basis.
I think the success came from the guys buying into the culture, and that in turn reflected into the way we played, because at the end of the day, it's about the guys out there in the uniform.
That's the biggest game I've played in my life. I've never played for something that important. You know, we're playing for more than just us. We're playing for the Searcy community. They're all pulling for us, they're rooting for us, and we want to make them proud.
Wishbone was invented by, it was Emory Ballard at Texas A&M, and taking those wishbone backs and putting them up there in slots is what the difference is between wishbone and flexbone, where you motion them and can put them in routes and stuff.
The flexbone is 11 guys committed to executing their specific detail every single play. If one guy is off, then the play won't work. And so it's really a reflection of how everybody has to do their job every single play.
And, you know, there's a lot of things about this offense that make it a home run success for us. But probably the biggest thing, you know, it is a perfect fit for who we want to be in our culture. When Coach Huck made this decision, you know, he sought out the best, and Coach Wheaton is widely recognized as one of the best, if not the best, option mind in the country.
Coach Huck reached out to me in 2010, and he said, hey, we want to bring you in and install the offense, and we think it would fit our kids. And, you know, he was right.
A couple of months later, he reached out and said, after watching your practice and being around your young men and tasting that culture, I'd love to come coach with you guys. Wow, it's amazing. The Godfather, you know, wants to come be with us. But at the time, we didn't have a spot available. We didn't have a salary available. And Coach Wheaton said, it's okay. You know, I'll come work for free.
He definitely is a big deal, but you wouldn't know it just talking to him. One thing I really appreciate about Coach Wheaton is just the way he holds us accountable. If you have something you need to get better at, he will tell you straight up, and he won't sugarcoat it, but he won't do it in a way that's demeaning either. And that makes you want to play harder for him because he expects a lot of you, but it's a good thing. It's about much more than just being a football player here.
You know, we always talk about unity. We only talk about stuff that unites us. We don't talk about stuff that divides us. We don't want it in the locker room. We don't want it out here on the practice field. You know, when you have guys that buy into that, I mean, it's special.
The success that we have received is a product of young men loving one another, being selfless, and working like crazy to honor God.
No kids are more deserving than our kids. You know, I'm very excited for this program, mainly because, you know, people know who we are now.
Good things are definitely brewing in Searcy. Now let's take a look at a bit of Arkansas sports history. In the early 1900s, the University of Arkansas athletic program was still finding its identity. That all changed when a young coach named Hugo Bezdek arrived on campus, bringing with him a fierce competitive spirit that would transform Arkansas sports forever. Check out this story of how one man's passionate outburst gave birth to the legendary Arkansas Razorbacks.
The University of Arkansas hasn't always been the Razorbacks. Hugo Bezdek, his association with what would change our mascot.
That one significant moment will always be part of the history of the university. Hugo Bezdek, he immigrated from Bohemia. He and his parents moved to Pennsylvania and then later to Chicago, where he literally fell in love with American sports.
Had been mentored by his coach Amos Alonzo Stagg at the University of Chicago.
Looking for something to do, and American sports really filled that void in his life.
Hugo Bezdek was selected really as the first paid coach, full-time coach here at the University of Arkansas. And
he arrived in 1908, so he became the coach, which means he coached whatever they were playing. You know, they were the Cardinals, and the Cardinals, not the birds, but the color. In those days, it was football in the fall and baseball in the spring. He was equally prepared to coach both, had successful careers in both sports. It's very likely that his baseball players were more fundamentally sound than his football players because, you know, baseball was kind of the town sport in those days. He did produce great baseball teams.
There was a lot of success heralded on the football field. Obviously, his teams were light, quick, and furious. They were swarming. It was a very disciplined team, and their style of play was very successful with an undefeated season in 1909 and really helped define a style of football that wasn't seen predominantly around the country at that time.
I think his wins and losses and his accomplishments as a coach are all secondary to the fact that he was in the right place at the right time to form a new image for the state.
That in 1909, when the University of Arkansas traveled to Memphis via train to play the mythical Championship of the South, and Coach Bezdek led Arkansas to a shutout victory, and they returned to the train station and the train depot on Dixon Street.
So when they arrived, everyone knew what the score was, and old Hugo stepped down off the train and
spoke to the crowd. He proclaimed that his team played like a wild band of Razorbacks.
Everybody thought, well, that's better than being a Cardinal.
And then in 1910, the University of Arkansas student body officially voted to change the name from Cardinals to Razorbacks.
It's not true that Besdick invented the name. They'd been called the Razorbacks prior to that.
But it certainly wasn't embraced.
And so the name was more derogatory. Arkansans were looked upon by their opponents as a bunch of rural, hillbilly, non-competitive guys.
But I think what people quickly realized in this state is the Razorback represented the attributes of Arkansans. Is fierce, is tireless, and is very passionate. I think they really identify with the attributes of a Razorback, of the Hogs, and having to work harder and having that success. So I think when you look at an animal and you look at a mascot that represents the spirit of Arkansas, I think the Razorback is a perfect fit.
He was the first person to give that name significance. I think that's a very important part of his legacy, setting us up for this competitive nature that goes far beyond what we might expect.
And not just in athletics, that stems across the academic institution, campus community. Hugo Besdick's perhaps biggest contribution to the University of Arkansas was the adoption of the Razorbacks and a whole sense of pride for this state and for this university.
You know, Christina, from that memorable day in 1909, the Razorback has stood as a symbol of Arkansas pride and determination.
Absolutely. You know, that is one of the things I love about sports on Arkansas PBS. We get our dose of sports, of course, but we learn along the way. That is a great history lesson.
Right. And the Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars, that is one list you want to be on. Well, that's it for us on the halftime show.
Now let's get you back to War Memorial Stadium for the second half, right here on your home for the high school football state finals, Arkansas PBS.
The future of Arkansas PBS, its programs, and its irreplaceable purpose all rest on a strong foundation of community support. Help us continue to impact lives for generations to come. Keep good going with a tax-deductible donation of just $5 a month. Visit myarpbs.org/donate to learn more.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
Computational origami is quite useful for the mathematical problems we are trying to solve.
After the fire, below the ashes and rubble,
a real discovery, totally unexpected.
Two mysterious coffins are discovered.
A rivalry between two men determined to reach new heights.
Bourdais Lighthouse and Gustav Eiffel's Tower.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people. Here we go, the energy.
Back here at War Memorial Stadium, 7-0 Arkadelphia. They lead Elkins in the 4A state championship game. Let's head down to the sidelines real quick and check in with Tyler Cass, who has the head football coach for Elkins, Zach Watson.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Coach, a lot of action, not a lot of scoring in that first half. What do you guys need to clean up?
Yeah, we just can't turn the football over. We had 3 turnovers right there. We got it down inside our 40 a couple times, and we got converted on 3rd down.
Was that slickness? Is it nerves? What?
I think it's a combination of everything. I think it's 2 good defenses playing as well. Really good football.
I wanted to highlight your defense, too. What have they done?
You know, they've got off the field on 3rd down. We got to stay on the field on 3rd down, and they're getting off on 3rd down.
Anything offensively besides just hang on to the ball?
Yeah, hang on the ball and then keep drives going. We got to stay on par for the course, and I mean we're getting behind the sticks on 3rd down. We got it to 3rd and 2, had some penalties. We got to convert on that 3rd down.
Perfect. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, Tyler. That was head coach Zach Watson for Elkins as his team trails 7-0 here at halftime. Well, Wes, we Didn't have a lot of highlights there in the first half, a lot of defensive highlights, but we did have one touchdown there in the first half.
A wet and rainy day, and it caused some mistakes. The defenses were awesome, too. You see Elkins all over the quarterback. Bad snap there. The centers have been complaining about the wet footballs. We've seen several bad snaps today. There's your big play. Elkins can't stop this one. That's Jay Purefoy, 57 yards. And Arkadelphia took a 7-0 lead. Looked like Elkins had a shot right there. The throw was a little behind the receiver, a little low, and Arkadelphia gets the interception, one of 3 first-half turnovers for this Arkadelphia defense.
Well, there's our halftime stats. 7-0 is our score. You see passing yards. They were a little bit low. We knew they would be coming into this one. Arkadelphia leads that. But really the impressive thing for what Elkins has done, they've held Arkadelphia to -3 total yards rushing. Total yards so far in the game, 95 to 88. But there you see the big number, 3 fumbles for Elkins, 1 for Arkadelphia so far there in the first half.
I was talking about these defenses. They've combined for 9 tackles for a loss. Elkins has 5 tackles for a loss. Arkadelphia has 4 tackles for a loss. And Elkins has sacked the quarterback twice for -26 yards. Now, one of those was on that bad snap that went over his head and led to that. That's one of the reasons why they have those negative rushing yards on that 17-yard loss on the sack of the quarterback. But it has been a defensive battle, partly because of the rain, but partly because these are 2 good defenses that we highlighted in the pregame show.
Well, Elkins will get the ball to start here in the second half as they trail 7-0 in the 4A state championship game. You can see there the Elks right there as they come out. I would imagine, Wes, as we talked about in the first half, the drainage here at War Memorial Stadium, you've played on it for a half now, or at least you played on one half of the field for a half. It's still going to be slick, but it's drying up, you know, the longer we go into this game.
And the wind's blowing, so that's going to help dry it out a little bit better. And they'll get used to the footing.
Yeah.
You know, they've had a half to play on it. Now, the main thing is just catch the ball, hold on to the ball for these offenses. Try to get some plays.
Back deep to receive the kick for the Elkins Elks will be Connor Ham as well as James Townsend. As Dawson Malice will put a foot into it. End-over-end kick that will be taken down at the 23-yard line. Bringing it up for the Elks will be Davian Hall, and Hall takes it past the 30 out to the 31, where it was Whitaker who made the stop for Arkadelphia.
Good start on the 31. I think Elkins may just focus a little bit on the run game. They had one good drive where it seemed like everything was starting to click, and it was running the ball with Jaquay Walden, their big running back, and found a little success. Then they got away with it from it and started throwing it a little bit, and next thing you know, they were having to punt.
4 wide in the formation, looking to throw, and they find Walden in the passing game. He's going to make a big play as he gets into Arkadelphia territory, all the way down to the 48-yard line.
Biggest play of the game for Elkins right there, and what a throw from Ben Napier. Walden was covered, had a linebacker coming over the top trying to tip it away, and he gets it just over his outstretched hands, catches it outside the 40.
Now here's another pass play, this time in the hands of Townsend. Had some nice blocks that time as he'll pick up about 5 yards on the play. Takes it inside the 45 down to the 42-yard line until Jaden McKenzie made the stop.
Elkins picking up the pace a little bit. I thought they'd come out, try to establish a run, and they've gone pass, and they're moving the ball.
4 wide receivers in the formation. Now here's a running play to Walden. He'll work left side, gets a nice run as he'll drag Arkadelphia defenders out of bounds. And it was Jacoby Campbell who made the stop out of bounds, but not until another first down for Elkins.
Great stiff arm from Walden. Had a defender coming up, tried to make the tackle, and he just put the stiff arm on him. Broke that tackle, picked up the first down, gets the ball inside the 30.
Ball at the 28, and I hand it off again to Walden, and right there are the Badgers.
That was that defensive penetration we saw time and time again from Arkadelphia in the first half. I just told you they had 4 tackles for a loss in the first half. There's tackle number 5 for a loss.
Quintavious Morris came in to make the stop. It's a loss of 4 yards on the play to bring up 2nd down and 14. High snap as Napier has to go get it. Now he'll throw it left side. There's nobody in the area as he throws it out of bounds. And that'll bring up a 3rd down for Elkins.
Just threw off the entire play. The high snap goes up. Luckily for Elkins, he gets control of the ball. Then he's under pressure and just throw it away. Let's get to third down.
So now you've got 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. You've got a 3rd down and 14 with the ball at the 32-yard line. Napier under pressure, and he's going to be sacked for a big loss all the way back at the 45-yard line.
Had pressure coming up the middle and tried to escape to the outside. Well, they had a blitzer coming to the outside, and he scrambled and ran right to him. The 2 Badgers combined for the sack, their first sack of the day, but another tackle for a loss. And they were in that 3rd 14. If they could pick up some yards there, I think they go for it on 4th down. Well, now after the sack, it is 4th and a mile, so you just got to punt it away. So a good drive comes to an end for Elkins. The Arkadelphia defense does it again.
That was Campbell and McClure who came in for the sack, and here's the punt. It'll hit down at the 21, go out of bounds. Looks like there was a penalty flag down there on the sidelines.
He's counting. He's maybe had too many people on the field. Yeah, he came to the sideline. I saw him. He was using his finger. He was pointing to the players, counting players, trying to figure out. They're going to talk about it and see if they had 12 out there.
Our officials today: Daniel Faulkner, Michael Hannon, Chad Walker, David Ward, Brad Rickett, and Michael Catton.
We have a wide shot of that punt. We can count how many out there. He waved it off. He must have miscounted. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, the punt returner. I should have used the telestrator on that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
We forget we have the telestrator. That's something
5.
new.
Yeah.
Something new PBS got us this year. Here's a handoff straight ahead. And it got back to the line of scrimmage. That was Reed on the stop, Brooks Williams.
Linebacker, 52 tackles on the season. He filled that gap and met him head to head. Good tackle, stopped him in his tracks.
3 wide, go to the right side. Bryson McCoy, the quarterback. Gonna look to throw, goes across the middle, has his man. And that time hooking up with Finley. James Townsend right there to make the stop, and it's gonna be very near a 1st down.
Good catch from Finley, using his hands right there to bring the ball in. Having to really focus with the wet conditions today.
They are going to
get the 1st down.
They are going to call it the 1st, and so now they're going to go back with a run on the left side, and just nothing going for the Arkadelphia running game.
Brooks Williams again, man, he just busted through. They had a couple of pulling linemen, and he comes through the backside, hits that gap, and makes the tackle from behind.
That was Malachi Hamilton who got the run that time. So now you've got a 2nd down and 10 with the ball at the 29-yard line. And in motion is Roberts. McCoy looking to throw left side, and it's he had it in his hands and he dropped it.
A lot of stuff going on that play. I thought it was going to be picked off, but the defensive back mistimed his jump. It went over his hands, and the receiver had it, and then right when he was about to catch it and go down with it, he gets leveled. That ball comes out.
Jeb Slaughter who was able to knock that one away. The intended target that time was Purifoy. So now you've got a 3rd down and 10.
It was just a jump ball, and Purifoy almost came down with it. Looked like he was going to catch it, and then he gets hit. Ball comes out.
I said it was Slaughter. It's actually Connor Ham who came up and knocked that one out. So now 5 wide in the formation for Arkadelphia. McCoy looking to throw and throws it out of bounds. And was trying to hook up with Maddox Finley that time, and that'll bring up 4th down and 10.
Senior Williams did a good job of dropping back into coverage. He wanted to get it to his receiver right there on the sideline, but Senior Williams got back so deep, he didn't have anywhere to throw it, so he just had to throw it out of bounds. If he throws that on target, Williams probably picks it off. What are they doing here? Is it a drop kick?
They're going to kick it's going to be set up like a field goal to kick it out of bounds Near the 30. I can't say that I've ever seen that.
I've never seen that. So they took a free kick instead of a punt and kicked it out of bounds. And Elkins is going to take over at around the 30-yard line.
Well, Trey Shucker said he was going to work on his punt formation at halftime, and I guess that's what they came up with.
We got to talk to our Arkadelphia guys down there. Couple boosts. Have they done this? Have they done this year? That is something I've never seen. I've seen a lot of high school football, and I have never seen that.
I've never seen it either. That's, you know what? You learn something new every day. So it's a 1st and 10 from the 31 for Elkins, as Napier's going to look to throw. Trying to extend the play. Just has to throw it out of bounds.
Great coverage down the field once again. He had a receiver very, very deep, but there was nowhere he could throw that. There you go. That's once again, we told you, I was like, what are they doing here? They're lining up for like a field goal. I knew there's no way he's kicking what was like a 90-yard field goal. They were just taking the free kick.
He would have gotten a scholarship on the spot had he made that. So it's 2nd down and 10. 4 wide in the formation as Napier's going to look to throw. Middle of the field, incomplete as he tried to hook up with Isaiah Haywood.
Elkins coaches want to pass interference on the play. I thought the defender came in a hair early, but they were both playing the ball, went through the receiver to knock it down. Here's a look at the replay. You can be the judge of this one.
Let's go down to Tyler Cass. He's got an update on that
what do we call it?
Formation field goal thing.
Yeah, I didn't get the official name from Arkadelphia. I just talked with kicker Seth Molinari before. He said he's never even heard of that. They've never done it before this year, but they told him in the locker room that's what they were going to do in a punt situation.
Thank you, Tyler, and there is a big sack as Reese Campbell lead the charge to get the sack, and that'll bring up 4th down for Elkins.
So our Arkadelphia guys just texted us, RJ, so that it's a scrimmage kick. It's just like a punt, but they haven't seen it all year. That was the first time they've tried it. But the punt wasn't obviously not working, so they go to plan B, or maybe plan D.
Well, you know, this is why you and I don't coach football, because all of my coaching friends across the state punt is going to be a good punt this time. It'll take Wagner back to the 40. And he'll be taken down right there. But I've got like 7 coaches that have all texted me and said, that is a legal formation. It's a kicking formation, and it can be done. And, I mean, clearly it can because it was this way, but I just never seen that before. So, either way, Arkadelphia is going to have the football back here with 7:19 left here in the 3rd quarter, and they'll have it at the 38-yard line.
So my question to all the coaches out there watching, why don't more people do that? Because that was clearly very effective.
Yeah.
And if you have a decent kicker, he's going to kick it better than your punter.
I mean, great point.
What's the negative for that?
I don't know. Here's a handoff after the end around, and that time it is Purifoy trying to get the extra yardage, but because of the extracurricular at the end of the play, there's a penalty flag. Davian Hall was in on that, as well as Jeb Slaughter.
It was the slinging him down to the ground. They kept pushing back. Whistles blowing, whistles blowing, whistles blowing, whistles blowing. And then they just shove him, and he falls down. Probably a little acting there from.
Personal
but
foul.
they paid off.
Unnecessary roughness, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Results in a first down.
Boy, there have been some costly mistakes by Elkins in this game. Think about the times that they've jumped off sides to give a first down to Arkadelphia. Now you get a first down off of a personal foul. Now the ball is going to be at the 46 in Elkins territory.
That's a good look at it.
Here's a pass play going right side. He's got his man, but overthrew him. Trying to hook up with Jay Purifoy. Bring up 2nd down and 10.
Well, McCoy just bent over and just was so frustrated with himself. He had him. He had protection. The Arkadelphia offensive line, the back did a great job of protecting him. He had time to throw. It was a slow developing route, and he just missed the throw.
So it's 2nd down and 10. Ball's going to be at the 46. Tight formation for the Badgers. Man in motion is Roberts, and now we've got a penalty flag.
Arkadelphia's pointing at Elkins. A lot of confusion right now. Well, the Elkins coaches are upset. They have their hands out wide. They're wanting an explanation.
Well, there's a penalty flag on the sideline over there, and then there's one in the middle of the field.
Yeah, there are 3 flags on the field. Here's our call.
Starting signal, defense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So what you have there is the defense probably hollering, doing something to try to throw off Arkadelphia center. They were doing something there to create a false start. And I'm sure the Arkadelphia coaches have talked to the officials about it and said, hey, in the first half, they're doing this. Watch for this.
So you've got a 2nd down and 5 now from the 41. McCoy going to look to throw. Throws it short, trying to hook up with Purifoy.
Just didn't look it in. He was wanting to take off and run for it and get his 2nd touchdown of the game.
You know, McCoy's thrown, he's been a 69% passer this year, but he's been a little flustered so far in this one. It's just not been able to get any type of timing or rhythm.
It's been, yeah, you're right. It's just hard to try to get into a rhythm in this game. First half, he was 9 of 22.
And in motion is Roberts. McCoy's going to look to throw again. Comes back right side, and it's incomplete. Tried to hook up with Braden Wagner that time. It's going to bring up 4th down. Connor Ham on the coverage.
Hit another receiver right there, and that receiver was getting held. You can see his jersey being pulled back. He looked around looking for a flag. No flag. You see him right there on the screen. That was Purifoy. Purifoy was wanting a flag because he was getting held. And the DB came over the intended receiver's back. They're showing this here. You can hear all the fans. Arkadelphia's wanting to call. Elkins like, hey, that just happened to us, and there was no call.
Well, Arkadelphia looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down. McCoy throws it out right side. Not even close to his intended target, trying to hook up with Hamilton.
You can see McCoy drying his hands off right there. He was rubbing his hands, trying to get dry. That ball just came out weird. He had a running back going out in the flat. Looked like he had him. Just missed the throw.
So now Elkins will get it back, but before we do, we'll take a break. As Arkadelphia leads at 7-0, you're watching the Centennial Bank Football State Championships in Arkansas PBS Sports.
Collectors, pickers, antiquers, and thrifters of the natural state. What's your latest or potentially greatest discovery? Hi, I'm Kate Askew, books, photography, and paper goods evaluator for Arkansas Treasures. See what your find is worth at the Arkansas Treasures Season 2 Evaluation and Taping event. Learn how you can donate to get your tickets now at myarpbs.org/Arkansas Treasures.
First responders put their lives on the line for us every single day. And in uncertain times, we lean on these heroes to help restore stability. As a key component of a strong community, you will find stability at the core of Centennial Bank. Here, we believe in supporting those that help provide a safe and secure community for us to thrive in. Your financial safety and security should not be overlooked. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Thanks to visiting UAMS Health, I'm able to do things physically that I never thought I'd be able to do again.
Well, we do this every game, Wes. It's a little trivia time, and I always like to see if I can stump you. So I'm going to ask the question.
I've already been stumped once today.
Once today, yes, we both have. Who holds the all-time state record for most rushing yards in a game? This is a Class 4A question, but who holds the all-time state record for most rushing yards in a game? We'll get the answer for you here later in the broadcast, so I'll let you think on it. But Elkins has it 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. .640 left here in the third quarter. The offense for Elkins back out there as Ben Napier brings the guys out. Quay Walden is the running back. Gonna hand it to Walden. He's gonna try to stretch it out left side. And he'll be upended after about a yard gain.
Great pursuit. Arkadelphia stringing it out. That allows their safety to come over, make that tackle. Takes his legs out from underneath him. Just a 1-yard gain.
Malachi Hamilton there to make the stop. Excuse me, no, it's Orion Roberts. And so now that brings up a 2nd down and 9.
That was a good tackle.
Here's Napier. Looking to throw, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time for Arkadelphia. It was Amari Ford who came in to knock it away to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Couldn't tell if he got a hand on it or not. It looked like Townsend was there, and I think it was just enough to distract him, and it just went right through his hands. Badgers defense flying around, man. That team speed's been impressive.
They both have, Elkins and Arkadelphia. The defensive speed that they've had and the closing speed has been really, really good. It's 3rd down and 9. Napier's going to look to throw. Comes back left side. It's intercepted.
Townsend put a double move on the DB, but what they didn't know was they had Wagner dropping back and double covering him, and he just sat on it. Wagner did a great job coming underneath. They got kind of an underneath over coverage, and it was a good route by Townsend, a little jerk route. He goes inside like he's going to, and then he just stops, goes back outside. And tell you what, with the double coverage, Arkadelphia had, it was like they knew that one was coming.
Is that the 4th or 5th turnover now for?
That's 4.
Yeah.
2 interceptions, 2 fumbles.
So it's now 1st down and 10 for Arkadelphia. McCoy going to hand it off. Straight ahead goes Hamilton. And he'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. Bring up a 2nd down and 7. Jaquay Walden there to make the stop for Elkins. Ball's going to be spotted at the 49-yard line in Elkins territory.
Badgers using their 3rd running back in this game. He got a lot of playing time when Moody had that broken thumb.
Here is Hamilton again. Works right side as he'll get it out to the 47. And Sir Williams was there to take him down. So it's a 1-yard gain, and it brings up 3rd down and 6.
Just tough running, both sides. Not many big rushing plays today. Arkadelphia's going to make a late substitution, put in an extra receiver, take Hamilton out.
So 4 wide receivers are going to be at the bottom of your screen. McCoy throws left side, has his man, that's Purifoy. He's going to get the 1st down and much more as he'll take it down to the 31-yard line.
Elkins just played coverage that time, just rushed forward. Arkadelphia going quick.
Here's McCoy, throws it left side, and what a great play that time by Elkins Sir Williams as he was able to get through a defender and deflect that pass.
Williams fought through, got a hand on it. Just great effort.
So it's 2nd down and 10. McCoy gonna hand it off to Roberts. He'll work right side and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
There's just nothing there. They had a couple blockers out there, but they couldn't get a push. And I'm sure part of that's the footing. You know, you got these pulling linemen. They just can't get their feet underneath them to make a good, powerful block. and everything's just bottled up by Elkins.
So it's a 3rd down and 10. McCoy works it back left side, puts in the hands of Purifoy, and he's going to get a couple yards on the play as Senior Williams came up to make the stop. And that will be at the 27-yard line. So now you've got a 4th down and 6 for Arkadelphia from the 27.
Taking their time. They're just now looking over at the coach. He just sent in the play. He's looking at the play clock, the game clock. I think he's going to call a timeout. Yeah, he just went over there to the sideline official, just standing there talking to him. He's going to let this run down to 1 second and call a timeout. While they call this timeout, some of the coaches have been texting me about the kick that Arkadelphia did earlier. Phil Vega with Darnell, we honored his son a little earlier, Creed Vega. He said that the Sand Lizards punted like that for about 5 years straight. He says it's a great way to punt, especially if you're wanting to keep it away from the returner. The high school rule treats that way of kicking just like a punt. Brad Harris said, because I asked, well, what's the negative? Because I liked it. I was like, that could be a smart, and especially if you got a good kicker, that he's going to kick it a lot further than the punter. And he says the coverage is the negative, because normally you have a bunch of offensive linemen in there, guys that aren't normally used to going down and covering a kick. They're just there to block for an extra point or a field goal, right? And so that's one of the negatives to that, if you got somebody that can return that kick back there.
Yeah, here's a replay of it right here. It just kind of threw both of us by just like, what's going on?
87-yard field goal attempt?
I tell you, we've got some great coaches in the state, and between the guys you mentioned, Tommy Gillerin, Buck James, those guys, everybody texting in, because I guarantee you and I weren't, anybody watching at home, they were like, what's going on right now?
Yeah, I've never seen that before, but obviously a lot of teams use it.
Here's a 4th down. Arkadelphia's going to go for it. And they worked it left side, tried to get in the hands of Finley, and they're going to stop him after Brooks Williams comes up and makes the stop and deflects the ball away.
That ball was tipped before it got there. That's why they're saying there wasn't a pass interference, because they definitely got there early. But you see the linebacker right there tipped it, and looked like Townsend got in a little early and hit the receiver. That's what you heard from the Arkadelphia fans. They were wanting pass interference, but the ball was tipped by the linebacker.
So Elkins is going to get the football back. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. A lot of defense in this one so far. Here's Napier. Gets around one defender. Going to throw downfield, and it's intercepted. That time coming up with the interception again was Braden Wagner.
The Badgers defense does it again.
Braden Wagner does it again. I mean, Wagner's been all over the field.
I'll tell you what, Napier took a lick. He had to get rid of it. Tried to force it in there.
So the ball's going to be at the 46-yard line in Arkadelphia territory with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. That defense for Elkins has been on the field a lot so far here in the 2nd half. So Bryson McCoy gonna hand it off, and his running back falls down. That was Kyle Reed. And he'll be about a 3-yard loss.
Just got tripped up there. Is that the turf monster, or they
turf
trip
monster
over their own feet?
So it's 2nd down and 12. Gonna pass it out in the flats. And here's a big play by Roberts. He'll go down the left side. One man to beat. He'll walk in the end zone for a touchdown. That was Orion Roberts who took it down the sideline to extend the Arkadelphia lead.
We'll watch the replay. I think it was Purifoy who scored the first touchdown. He delivers a great block, and then it's just man on man. You beat one man, you're gone. He beats the man, takes it to the house. He needed one block, and he got that block right there. Frees him up, beats that defender, gone. Coach Shucker told us they knew they had the explosive plays. He just wanted to get the running game going. Couldn't get the running game going. Depending on the explosive plays, they get their second explosive play of the game.
So Arkadelphia gets the extra point. The rain starts to pour here at War Memorial, and Arkadelphia leads at 14-0. I just got a text, Wes. You know, we've talked so much about Wagner and Braden Wagner for Arkadelphia in the defense. Well, his dad is the D-line coach for the Henderson State Reddies. He's committed to go to Henderson State. I want to thank Scott Maxfield for sending that one in, but no wonder he's such a good defensive player. His dad coaches defense at the collegiate level.
Well, he's also the wide receiver. He's had 38 catches for 648 yards, 10 touchdowns this season. So as we can see on defense, he can catch the ball. He's not a defensive back that's over there because he can't catch it on offense and they put him on defense. He's just a two-way threat, but we've seen his hands on defense today.
Let's head down to the sidelines, check in with Tyler Cass.
Hey guys, I don't know if you can say yet that touchdown opened the floodgates on the scoring. It did from the clouds though. It's now raining harder than it has all game long, pretty much from about 10 seconds after that touchdown to now. So we'll see if that puts a damper on the explosive plays going forward. Falcon just tries to ground and pound.
Thank you, Tyler.
Arkadelphia fans did not care one lick about that rain. And for Elkins on their side, it just made a miserable day worse.
Here's Walden on. He's going to receive this kick. He'll take it past the 30 to the 32. And that's where Elkins will have it on the stop that time. It was Amari Ford. So, Wes, now you're down by 2 scores for Elkins. Arkadelphia shut down the running game so far. They've got to figure out some intermediate passing or something to get back in this ball game.
Yeah, they hit on a couple pass plays to open the second half. That gave them a little confidence, but they got to protect the quarterback.
Here's Napier going to run with it this time. He'll slide down at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's been the biggest issue for Elkins. Napier's just been under all kinds of pressure, and even on the last interception, he took a big lick as he was getting rid of the ball.
Gonna hand it to Walden. Straight ahead, he's got the first down. He'll fall forward out to the 45.
They just got to get a couple of first downs, move those chains, try to get a little something going offensively, get a little confidence going.
It was Hamilton on the stop. Now here's Napier, gonna look to throw again. Comes right side, in and out of the hands of Walden.
Got to look it in, got to really focus on making the catch on the daylight today with it raining again. Sometimes just take it for granted, trying to do too much.
So you've got a 2nd down and 10. 4 wide in the formation. Napier comes back left side, in and out of the hands of his intended target, Isaiah Haywood.
Just a hair behind him. Probably should have caught it still, but
Hamilton came up to help knock that one away, and so now you've got a 3rd down and 10 from the 45.
Kind of hit him on the back shoulder that time. That was a tight window. Arkadelphia had him surrounded.
3rd down and 10. The ball slipped out of the hands of Napier. It was almost intercepted.
They almost caught it in the air. They're talking. I don't know if they ever made a call on it.
They're going to say 4th down.
I thought it was still in his hand when his arm was moving forward. Here's a good look at it. Ooh. That looked like an empty hand. Almost caught it anyway, and it wouldn't have mattered. Yep. Ooh. I think it's a fumble.
Yeah.
I think they'll look at this, right?
Well, Elkins did get back on top of it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. But the officials, it looks like they are going to get a whistle, and this one may be reviewed.
Previous play is under review.
Yeah, so the booth signaled down, and they want to take another look at it.
But could change the spot of the ball for 4th down. Right now it's at the 40. They may look at this to see where, if they do say it's a fumble, where do they recover this?
So you see right there.
They recovered it right at the 40.
Elkins clearly jumped on it, but I think they got the spot right on this one. Going back to the weather and how slick conditions have been, you can see it right there. But I mean, just went to go throw it and just couldn't keep it in his hand.
Maybe they're looking at to see if it was possibly an incomplete pass, because the ball was originally at the 45, and so if they rule it incomplete, they would move it 5 yards forward to be 4th and 10 at the 45, because they marked it as a fumble. I thought they ruled incomplete on the field, but no, they ruled fumble, recovered by Elkins, and spotted it at the 40. I think they got it right on the field. Oh, Arkadelphia almost came up with another interception.
And it was a defensive lineman that time that he was trying for it. They're taking a long look at this one, because I think you're right, Wes. That they may be looking at that, at whether it was an incomplete or if it was a fumble. I think, you know, here's the official replay feed. That this is what the officials in the booth are looking at.
Caden Whitaker almost has it right there. He's falling down on the ground, losing his balance, trying to catch it. It's a tough play for a defensive lineman.
By the way, and by the way, this is DV Sports. They do all the college stuff. If you look in the upper area, I guess the right-hand side, you can actually see how long the stoppage time for this review is. So they know how long that they're sitting here reviewing these plays, and I think we've got an official call.
Ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the offense is confirmed. Please place 1:45 on the game clock. Clock will start on my ready.
Okay, so there we go. They're going to put a minute 25 on the clock. It's going to be a 4th down and 15 for Elkins from the 40-yard line.
We've seen Elkins have some snap issues with the punt game.
Braden Wagner's going to be back deep at the 30-yard line.
Doesn't look like Arkadelphia is bringing pressure. They're getting the game clock fixed right now.
They put it at 1:45, not 1:25. You get a nice punt away. Wagner's going to let it go, and it'll be down at around the 22-yard line, and that's where Arkadelphia will have it 1st and 10 with a minute 30 left here in the 3rd quarter.
It's a big drive for both teams. Elkins needs a stop. Their defense has got to do it once again. They can't afford to go down 3 possessions with a minute 30 to go in this 3rd quarter. They need to get a stop, get the ball back in their offense's hand, and Arkadelphia knows. Look, right here, you get a good drive, another big play, you go up 21-0. You're feeling a lot better on that sideline.
So 4 wide in the formation. McCoy going to hand it off. This to Hamilton. And he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. May have got a yard, actually. So now they're going to say 2nd down and 9. It was Martin who came in to make the stop. Right now for Arkadelphia, they're going to take as much time off the clock as possible, as we're nearing a minute left here in the 3rd.
Yeah, they're in no hurry. Coach Shucker I saw him look up at the scoreboard to see the play clock. They're kind of looking at each other right now. I don't think he signaled. There he goes. He just signaled it in.
Down to 8 on the play clock. And hand it off again. Out past the 30-yard line. And that was Hamilton. Connor Ham there to make the stop, and that's very near a 1st down.
Just how good has that Elkins defense been today? That's been one of their best runs. And what, they pick up about 6, 7? They moved the chain, so he got 8.
So it's a first down and 10 as they're going to spot the ball down at the 33.
They're going to run one more play. They got 11 seconds left. They're going to run this ball and go the fourth quarter.
Going to hand it to Hamilton. Right side. Got about a yard on it. That'll bring up second down, and we will resume the drive after the quarter change. So as we end the third quarter of play, Arkadelphia, they lead it 14-0 over Elkins. You're watching the Centennial Bank High School Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
It's a stirring celebration with unforgettable music from the Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square.
We attain wholeness when we can bring joy and light into the world, which is the message of Hanukkah.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryant. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryant. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Before my surgery, I was in excruciating pain, but thanks to UAMS Health, I'm now pain-free, and I'm planning my next big trip.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
Well, we start the fourth quarter of play, and these are the highlights from the first half, Wes. We're seeing a lot of turnovers, a lot of fourth down non-conversions, and we've seen 2 touchdowns from Arkadelphia here in the first half.
Yeah, Jay Purefoy, 57-yard catch from Bryson McCoy. That came in the first quarter, and then we didn't have any scoring in the second quarter. Defense has been the story. Arkadelphia with all the turnovers, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, tackles for a loss, sacking the quarterback. Badgers D, the real deal today. There's another interception for Arkadelphia. And finally, here in the late in the third quarter, Arkadelphia strikes again following the interception. The second interception for Bryson Wagner. And there it is. 1 good block, 1 good move, and Orion Roberts, 56 yards to the house. Arkadelphia leads it 14-0 to start the fourth quarter.
Hey, by the way, I asked you that trivia question back in the third quarter. Who holds the all-time state record for most rushing yards in a game? The answer? Well, it was John Bunch. He had 608 yards of rushing in a game. It was Elkins versus Winslow, October 25th, 1974. So here's Arkadelphia going to look to throw, wide open man. He's going to go up the left side. It's another touchdown for the Arkadelphia Badgers. They're blowing this one open. Maddox Finley on the touchdown.
They ran that little bubble screen, but it was a bubble screen, fake, and go. Instead of blocking, he just kept going down the field, caught Elkins off guard. Elkins was trying to stop the bubble screen, slipped him out, touchdown. Third explosive play of the game for Arkadelphia.
On to kick is Seth Molinari. Kick is up, and it is good. And with 11:51 to play left here in the game, Arkadelphia, they lead it 21-0 over Elkins in the ball game. This is what we had, a 7-0 halftime game, and then Arkadelphia is just a little bit at a time grown this lead to 21-0.
Maddox Finley, 33 catches, 367 yards on the season. He's the backup quarterback. He was in the competition for starting quarterback over the summer. He won a starting wide receiver spot, makes a play in the state championship game, his 7th touchdown of the season, and what a big one that was. You know, they go into the third quarter, they have that extended break, they talk about it, they know what they want to do coming out of the timeout. They ran that fake bubble screen perfect, just sucked Elkins up. You saw 3 defenders up there. He just ran, slipped past all of them, and walked into the end zone.
After the kickoff, we'll check in with Tyler Cass down the sidelines as we've got 11:51 to play left here in this one. Molinari is going to be on to kick for Arkadelphia. And back deep, you've got Jaquay Walden and James Townsend. Kickoff is going to be taken by Walden at the 23. He'll get it up past the 35 and out to the 36-yard line. Let's head down to Tyler Cass on the sidelines. Tyler.
Yeah, guys, look, it's 2024. You know that every time you come off the field, you're going to be watching film. Last time around, though, for the Arkadelphia defense, they gathered around the screen. Coach had nothing for him. He just said, offense did their part. Just keep doing what you're doing. So the Badgers ready to trust their guys the rest of the way.
Thank you, Tyler. It's 1st down and 10 with the ball at the 36-yard line. 4 wide receivers in the formation. Purifoy going across the middle of the field. He took a hit as he threw it, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Well, now with the score being 21-0, Arkadelphia's defense knows Elkins is going to be throwing it a little bit more, and they're just going to start teeing off, lining up and getting after the quarterback. They've had a hard time of protecting Purifoy for much of the day, and now it's just going to be even more difficult because the threat of the run isn't going to be as great.
So it's 2nd down and 10. Napier, gonna look to throw. Comes right side, in and out of the hands of his intended target. That was Landon Martin, who had double coverage on that outside. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Martin, one of their big play receivers. He leads the team in touchdown receptions. Just off his hands.
So 3rd down and 10 with 11:37 to play here in the 4th. Let's say hello to my buddy Chad Purrier, who's up in North Arkansas watching this on Arkansas PBS Sports today. Napier steps up, and he's going to be taken down.
That time Arkadelphia only rushed 3. Rushed 3, dropped 8 into coverage. He was called a coverage sack, but you know what? They were still able to get home pretty quickly with just 3 guys.
That was Skylar McClure who came in to make the sack. Takes the ball back to the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss, and the punting unit's going to come on for Elkins.
You know, I was looking at when I was doing my pregame chart. McClure 11 sacks this season. Campbell 7 sacks. Wimberly 5 sacks. Williams 6.5 sacks. That's just their defensive line. Those guys, they don't have to blitz a lot. Now they have some to blitz today, and their linebackers all came into the game with multiple sacks. Reese Campbell at 6 sacks. Quintavious Morris had 7 sacks. They get after the quarterback. That's part of the thing they do at Arkadelphia, and they have certainly made life miserable for Ben Napier today.
So it was fair caught at the 39-yard line. Arkadelphia is going to have it as they lead it 21-0. You know, McCoy has gotten a little bit more comfortable throwing the football there towards the end of the 3rd quarter. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes today.
Or 3 now.
Or 3 now, yeah. Gonna hand it off. That is Hamilton. He'll cross the 40 out to the 41.
Just work the clock now.
On the tackle is Harasha. It's gonna bring up a 2nd down and 8.
You called his name several times today. He's done a very good job right there in the middle of the defense, lining up over the ball.
20 on the play clock, and Arkadelphia's just kind of standing around waiting for this one to tick down. It's 2nd down and 8 with the ball at the 41. Gonna hand it off to Hamilton. Using some nifty moves to try to get the first down. He'll be very close.
Boy, he made something out of nothing there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their third running back. He's had some playing time this season. When Moody was out with the broken thumb, he kind of moved up to second team, and he was patient, just waited for his offensive lineman, kind of nudged him out of the way, cut back, and
he's
picked up 8.
He'll be about a half yard shy of the first down.
RJ, with all these Arkadelphia fans are about to drive back down to the hour south on I-30, or west, I guess. There's your third down conversion. They'll move the chains. You got Bismarck fans on their way up here. I was just sent a video, and it was really cool. It is the fire department, police department. They're giving an escort to the team buses as they leave Bismarck and get on the interstate. And you're going to have a lot of people coming back and forth on I-30 between Arkadelphia and Bismarck.
You know, and that's the 3A game coming up here at 6:30 tonight, but neither one of those teams have won a state championship before, and it's a big thing down in both those communities. And the video you showed, it looked like a community parade that was happening.
I bet I could send this video to the truck. I bet we could put that on maybe here in the next 5 minutes as Arkadelphia's trying to run out this clock.
Here's McCoy going to just throw it out of bounds.
Were you surprised they
a little bit
threw it there?
A little bit.
I thought they were just about to start working this clock and handing it off play after play after play and working the clock off.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me a little bit, but so it's now 2nd down and 10 with the clock stopped at 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Gonna throw it again into the flats into Purifoy. And he's going to lose yardage on the play as Jeb Slaughter came in to make the stop.
Arkadelphia fans were on the horse collar. He thought he grabbed him by the back of the jersey, had his hand in there. No call. The good thing is they completed the pass. They lost some yards, but the clock is still ticking for Arkadelphia.
I'm a little shocked that they're throwing the football around.
Yeah, that was a pretty safe throw.
It was.
You should complete that one a high percentage of the time. And if he breaks the tackle, move the chains, pick up another first down.
Well, you can probably bet they're gonna throw it right here on 3rd down and 13. McCoy comes back left side. It's intercepted. It's intercepted, brought up left side by Elkins. Coming up with it for the Elks, it was Dominic Morgan. There is a penalty flag down at the 38-yard line.
Just an ill-advised throw. He threw it all the way across the field. That ball was in the air a long time, and actually the receiver wasn't that open. And I'll tell you what, DB made a great play on it. And luckily for Arkadelphia, the receiver kept after the play and got the tackle because there was nobody there to tackle.
The return, personal foul, legal blindside block, turning team. It'll be first down, Elkins.
So the penalties against Elkins as they'll back it up all the way into their own territory. So they're going to put it down at the 47.
I think right there, you see the player down after the blindside block. Looked like possibly Elkins, number 88, is who I think I saw, Boblets, with the penalty.
So here's Napier. He's going to look to throw as a man at the 45-yard line. That time coming up with it was Landon Martin.
That was a good job by Napier getting the ball, getting it out of his hands quickly. He had his mind made up. He saw his receiver open and let it go.
Working to Walden. And he'll be slung down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be about a 3-yard loss as Wimberly came in to lead the charge of Badgers.
Keeson Wimberly. He had 62 tackles this season from his defensive line spot. Got some penetration.
It's a 3rd down and 5. Napier throws it. That's Haywood, and he can't hold on to it.
Great coverage. Arkadelphia, so Ryan Roberts, man, he was right there and made it difficult to bring that ball in.
So now you've got a 4th down and 5. Clock stopped at 7:03.
Arkadelphia going, looks like, with 3 defensive linemen.
Napier on 4th down, trying to extend the play. Throws it, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted. That time, intercepting the football for Arkadelphia was Jacoby Campbell.
How about Campbell hustling from his defensive line spot? How did he get where he was?
He was extending the play out. He is actually the one that almost intercepted the ball when it fell out of Napier's hands earlier.
Look at Jacoby. He just rolls down, goes into coverage, sticks his hand out. Look what I found. And it's stuck.
We will have the rest of the 4th quarter when we come back, as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
This is my ultimate guide to the most delicious Christmas ever. Absolutely scrumptious.
Next time on Real Rail Adventures, we're on board for frosty fun as we discover Swiss winter magic.
We'll take a look at the history of deep-sea sports fishing. Visit the city in Italy that made chocolate famous. Find out how you can sell your artwork on the internet.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Antiques Roadshow season premiere is overflowing with treasures from Bentonville, Arkansas.
Really? Oh my goodness.
I think with these, you've really kind of hit it out of the park.
This one is not out of fashion. It's so well done and so over the top. Fancy French, just beautiful.
For an amazing Spider-Man fan, this is the best.
All new appraisals in the season premiere of Antiques Roadshow from Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art.
Next month on Arkansas PBS.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Now, thanks to UAMS Health, I am dancing through life.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
UAMS provides orthopedic care, sports medicine expertise, therapy, and support to athletic programs, organizations, and events across the state. UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine clinics are conveniently located throughout central and northwest Arkansas, and we want to say thank you to UAMS. Hey, let's head down to Tyler on the sidelines real quick. Tyler.
Yeah, guys, I want to introduce you to someone who's gotten plenty of play tonight, the Arkadelphia turnover chain. We see plenty of these in this day and age. They add something else. You got the lock on there. The message pretty straightforward. Play lockdown tonight as they look to a potential shutout in a state championship game.
Thank you, Tyler. As Arkadelphia with the football, and Hamilton's going to run with it, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. May have actually lost a yard on the play. He did, back to the 46.
I just can't get over Jacoby Campbell, that play he made from his defensive line spot. He just was following the play, and then he got a little depth, went into coverage, and ball's thrown, sticks his hand out there. And
I think he was a little surprised he got the interception because he threw his hands out there and he goes, oh, look what I got, and went out of bounds.
4th interception of the day for this Arkadelphia defense. And they've recovered a fumble too, right?
2 of them.
2 of them, so that's 6 turnovers.
Wow.
Can't win a game. It's hard to win any game with 6 turnovers.
Yeah, here is McCoy going to hand it off to Hamilton. He'll work it left side, gets a pass 1. Big running lanes this time, inside the 35. as he'll take it down to the 34-yard line. Making the stop was Boblitz, and it's a first down for the Arkadelphia Badgers.
Hamilton's been their best runner today. He had the previous long run of 10 earlier this half, and that's now their best run of the day. Hamilton hasn't lost any yards for Arkadelphia. He just finds a way, plows forward, the bigger back.
So it's a first down and 10 with the ball at the 34-yard line. Down to 10 seconds on the play clock. McCoy's going to hand it off again to Hamilton. He'll get past one defender, and there's a host of Elks that came in to make the stop, got him back to the line of scrimmage.
Davian Hall was the first one through for Elkins, and he disrupted the play and was able to slow down the big back. I think he even ripped off his little pouch there to keep his hands warm. Yeah, he pulled it out and he looked at it like thinking it's a football, and he's like, what is this?
You know what's crazy about this is just got a text from Chris Babb, who does a lot of the sports information for Arkadelphia, and he said that this is the first game all season that Hamilton's got even significant carries. Most time it's 1 or 2 carries a game. He's had a big day so far. Second down and 11. Low snap, they're going to give it to him. Bounces off one man, it's going to be spiraled down after a couple-yard loss. It was Senior Williams who came in to make the stop.
And Brooks Williams, once again, we've called his name a lot, right there at that middle linebacker spot. I think he leads the team in tackles with 52 coming into the game, and he filled the hole once again, came in and delivered a big blow, big knock, and slowed down the running back for once.
Apparently, the starting running back, Kyle Reed, injured his hand earlier in the game, but it's been injured for a couple weeks. So that's part of the reason why we've seen Hamilton so much here in the second half of this ball game.
Yeah, we haven't seen Moody at all. Moody was their backup running back. He's the one who broke his thumb earlier in the year and had the cast on, went to defense, played defense, but he is back now and has played some running back. But I don't see Moody with the carry today.
Yeah, I think he lined up back there a couple times, but they never handed it to him.
Well,
So
it's one of those where you find a hot back, someone who's productive, and you know what? He's a bigger back. He's handled the wet turf a little bit better. Ride that hot back.
Yeah, and he's been a bruiser too. I mean, he gets hit and just keeps churning. So it's now third down and 13 with the ball at the 37-yard line. I hand it off to Hamilton again. Straight ahead. He'll get about a yard on the play and bring up fourth down. Jaquay Walden came in to make the stop.
Timeout, Elkins, their second.
So Elkins is going to call their second timeout with 4 minutes and 31 seconds left.
Saw another low snap there. Snapping's been an issue. Holding on to the ball has been an issue. We've had fumbles, the interceptions. It's a tough day. I mean, you just see the players, all their jerseys are wet, coaches are wet. The rain, it looks like it's stopped for now.
So the question, though, Wes, is now you've got a fourth down and 12. Do you line up in the field goal set to punt this down to get it inside the 10-yard line, or do you just go for it?
I think you go for it. I mean, it's fourth down. You know, you don't get the first down. You're going to turn it over, stop, turn it over on downs. The clock's going to stop anyway. So if I'm Chucker, I'm chunking it. I'm throwing it and trying to pick up the first down, and then you get a new set of downs, eat up some more clock. For a copy of any of the state championship games, go to mnmproductions.net to place your order. Something you want to have, a copy of this game, mnmproductions.net.
Well, Molinari is going to line up to kick.
They do have a returner back right around the goal line.
And now we've got whistles, and
Coach Shucker didn't like something. He called timeout. He threw his hands up in the air. You see the special teams coach out there also. He's talking with the guys. Maybe something with the formation he didn't like.
Well, so you line him up, and now look, you and I were watching it, and I mean, this is a little bit long, but he was kicking it from 45 in warm-ups, and he was missing, but he's got a good leg when the ball's put on a tee like that. Not saying he's going to make it. I'm just saying that you pin him down to around the 10-yard line.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if he's trying to kick it through the goalpost or if he's. I'm telling the kid, hey, try to kick it out of bounds at the 5. Yeah. Don't even let this returner get his hands on it and try to return it. We do not want to have to tackle him.
So Molinari's going to go back out there. His holder.
Yeah, this would be 53 yards. He's not trying to make this.
Braden Wagner's the holder. So they've got a man standing. That's Townsend down at the 3, and here's the kick. It's angled, and it's going to go out of bounds at around the 6-7 yard line.
There you go. Mission accomplished.
That's how you fix it, right? I mean, you fix your punting situation.
Yeah. You don't want them to have a chance to return it, so just kick it out of bounds.
Well, they're going to say it went out of bounds a lot sooner, and if they're going to mark it out of bounds at the 12-yard line. But either way, it's going to be 1st and 10 with 4:26 to play here in the game, and Arkadelphia leading 21-0.
Tough spot for Elkins to drive 88 yards against this Arkadelphia defense. And you know, you said it earlier, Badgers want a shutout. They've gone this far, holding them off the scoreboard. They got a lot of pride on that defense. They're not thinking about just winning this game. They want to shut them out.
So here's Napier, gonna look to throw. Gonna come back and find his receiver, James Townsend. And Townsend's gonna be able to pick up 4 yards on the play. Well, not only that, Wes, but you know, Elkins has led in scoring in Class 4A for the last 2 years. I mean, this is a team that they have done a good job putting points up on the board, and they've been the top scoring team in 4A, and the fact that you could shut them out in the state championship game, you know that means something to Arkadelphia.
We've had defense swarming again, just running for his life.
Napier going to throw downfield, and it's going to go out of bounds. Trying to hook up with Brad Walker that time.
And Walker was actually open, but because he was running for his life, couldn't really set his feet and just kind of slung it out there. He threw it out of bounds. If he gets that anywhere kind of close, the cornerback was beat. He was running, trying to catch up, and he had just ran into the receiver, and you would have gotten a pass interference call.
So now you've got a 3rd down and 6. Elkins is going to have 5 receivers in the formation. Napier looking across the middle, has a man, that's Townsend. He's got the 1st down. He's going to go out of bounds at around the 25-yard line.
Arkadelphia just rushed 3. They dropped 8 in the coverage. And Townsend did a good job of just maneuvering, finding a spot for his quarterback to give him the ball. Just came all the way across, caught it, gets upfield, picks up the 1st down.
4 wide in the formation this time. Napier's going to look to throw. He's under pressure, and he's going to be taken down. Back at the 9-yard line where he went down. I think they're going to give us forward progress at the 11. And then that time it was Skylar McClure who came in and applied the pressure in the sack.
I'm not sure how many sacks that is for McClure today, but he's got a couple, right?
He's been back there a lot.
He led the team in sacks coming into this game with 11.
Now you've got a 2nd down and 25. Napier under pressure again, and he's going to be taken down again. This time he'll be taken down back at the 3-yard line, 4-yard line. They just moved up 1. So that was LaJovis Moody who came in to make the sack. And And it will take it to a 3rd down and 31.
They're just teeing off now. See, our guy Campbell, Jacoby Campbell got in there. He may have picked up a half a sack too.
Here's the snap. He'll take it in the end zone. Throws right side. The only receiver that was close was Isaiah Haywood. And that'll bring up 4th down.
If they try to roll the pocket that time, they roll him out left, try to give him some room to throw, but still Arkadelphia breaks through and gets to the quarterback, and it was McClure again. McClure almost got him in the end zone. He had to just get rid of it.
So now Elkins is gonna, it's a 4th down and 31.
Napier just went down. He was just squatting down. He's just worn out, taking so many hits. He just squatted down and tried to catch his breath for a second.
Gonna go for it on 4th down. They set up an inside tunnel screen. Puts it in the hands of Townsend, and he'll slip down just shy of the 15-yard line. And it was Braden Wagner who came up to make sure he didn't go any farther. And it'll be a turnover on downs, and Arkadelphia will have the ball at the 14.
I know they name an MVP for the game. The defense is the MVP for Arkadelphia, right?
Yes. Braden Wagner. I mean, if you have to between him and either Skylar McClure.
They have done a great job of keeping this Elkins team off the scoreboard. All the turnovers, the sacks, the tackles for a loss. It has just been a great performance from the defense. Look, Bryson McCoy's going to have 3 touchdown passes in this game, but the defense was outstanding.
Here's a running play into the end zone, touchdown for Arkadelphia. That's their big man. They lined up. I couldn't quite see his number on the
56. Looks like 56.
Yeah, that's Wimberly. That's what I thought. And he was able to take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Arkadelphia extends their lead to 27-0.
Nykeeson Wimberly, first man through. Look at it. It was shifty. Kind of went in sideways, kind of trying to get small to get through the hole. Then he squares up his shoulders, gets behind his pads.
You know,
jumps, kind of does a little hop over somebody.
Look at him. You know he's excited about scoring a touchdown in the state championship game, as his team leads it 28-0. Let's head down the sidelines and check in with Tyler KAFT.
Yeah, guys, you have no idea how much the sideline just exploded when Nykeeson Wimberly scored a touchdown. Heart and soul of so much what happens on the defensive end of the ball. Getting him at store there at the end of his senior year meant so much to this team.
Thank you, Tyler. 2:30 left here in the 4th quarter as Arkadelphia, they lead it 28-0. Look at that young man. Boy, he is excited to be able to get in this state championship with a touchdown. Student section happy about.
Painted up, aren't they?
I know it. I can't tell if it's smeared from the rain or if they came like that.
Kudos to them. It's not actually the warmest day out there.
No. Don't forget, Arkadelphia came out with no shirts on to start the pregame. Molinari's gonna kick this one off. Be a short kick. It's gonna hit down at the 31. And for Elkins, coming up with it was Davian Hall, and they'll have the football at the 30-yard line.
Very fortunate bounce for Elkins. That ball bounces crazy. Arkadelphia's all around it to recover it.
Well, now if you're Napier in this offense, it's just all about moving the football. They have not been able to move the football all day today.
Oh, I almost waved that white flag and just handed off a couple times to my big back. Let Jaquay Walden get a couple carries.
Here's Napier, going to look to throw. They give it in the hands of Walden on the screen, and he'll be taken down after getting a couple yards on the play. It was Malachi Hamilton who came in to make the stop.
We talked about the speed of this Arkadelphia defense earlier in the game, and that was a great example. Ran a little screen, had blockers out there, looked like they had a little something, and then Malachi Hamilton just chases it down, makes the tackle. Great open field tackle. Just the speed right there, what we're talking about.
So it's 2nd down and 8, clock running. And we've got a penalty flag.
I think Elkins moved.
Snap, off, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
You know, my mind after talking with the coaches this week, I thought we were going to have a defensive battle, a lower scoring game, but I didn't see 28-0. I thought it would be, each team around 17 or so, just a defensive battle, and it was the Arkadelphia defense that outshined the Elkins defense.
Here's Napier trying to throw it to Townsend, and it's incomplete. No, and really it almost seems like Arkadelphia, when they scored there in the 3rd quarter, it almost broke the will of Elkins, because that when they score off that long run down the sidelines, something changed with both the defense for Arkadelphia and the offense of Elkins.
And look, Arkadelphia's got a great team. The biggest issue for them, they had 2 non-conference losses that I think some of the voters in the state and some of the fans in the state said, well, they got 2 losses, Arkadelphia. Well, it was to bigger schools. A good Lake Hamilton team early in the season in non-conference play, and they lost to Camden Fairview. Also a bigger school that was a playoff team that had a really good team. And so I think some people look at that and say, well, they got 2 losses. And then you look at Elkins, and they're undefeated at 14-0. Then I think some of the injuries that Elkins suffered throughout the year finally caught up to them against a very good team. The MVP was just announced.
Oh, yeah. Who
you nailed it.
Braden? Yeah.
Wagner.
Yeah, Braden Wagner. Here's Napier. Is going to run it to the near side, and he'll go out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Wagner had 6 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a pass broken up.
I'm going to tell you what, it feels like he did a lot more than that. I don't remember, Wes, and you and I have been doing these games for a while. I don't remember the MVP being a defensive. When the last time a defensive player got the MVP in a state championship?
No, he does play offense too.
Yeah.
The award is what he did defensively.
Yeah.
I was trying to pull up his stats for offense, number of catches. I don't see him with any. Maybe he didn't have it.
I don't think he had much on offense. It was a lot of defense that he had today. So Arkadelphia with the football. And they're going to go in the victory formation. And he'll take a knee, and that'll just wind the clock.
Well, they said, the official scorekeeper said he didn't have a catch.
So we're down to a minute left in this one. Arkadelphia is going to move their record on the season to 13-2. They stayed undefeated in 4A conference play. Elkins is going to fall to 14-1, and they will go to 7-1 in 4A conference play. As there's a knee. Down to 35 seconds. The last state championship for Arkadelphia came in 2018. They went back-to-back in 17 and 18. We talked about earlier, for a lot of these starters, they were in middle school. They were 5th and 6th graders when Arkadelphia last won a state championship. But in 2024, the Badgers are headed home with a state title. Trey Shucker and his team have got a state championship coming back to Clark County. So your final score in this one, Arkadelphia, they win it 28-0. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Join the ranks of corporate sponsors and business partners at Arkansas PBS. Your support will shine a light on your business with recognition on air and at major community events like Family Day. Plus, our viewers love the businesses that underwrite their favorite programs. Showcase your company while making a meaningful impact on lifelong learning. Partner with Arkansas PBS to build a brighter future for our state.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Before my surgery, I was in excruciating pain, but thanks to UAMS Health, I'm now pain-free, and I'm planning my next big trip.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
One snowman cake, present and correct.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
We have much to be grateful for.
Just what I wanted for Christmas.
I had hoped for the opportunity to dazzle.
Dazzle?
Good news indeed.
First responders put their lives on the line for us every single day. And in uncertain times, we lean on these heroes to help restore stability. As a key component of a strong community, you will find stability at the core of Centennial Bank. Here, we believe in supporting those that help provide a safe and secure community for us to thrive in. Your financial safety and security should not be overlooked. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
I'm R.C. Davis. Join me, Jewel, Michael Crawford, and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I'm Scott Yu. I'm at a teaching festival where the pros help guide the next generation.
It's an unforgettable evening of unforgettable songs and carols from the world-renowned choir and orchestra.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryant. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryant. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
I'm hoping to open a little window into Arthur's mind.
He asked me to investigate a suspicious death, but given that he's now also died in suspicious circumstances, it's an odd coincidence, don't you think?
A power outage on the island is caused by an electrocution.
Death would have been instantaneous.
The victim was stealing electricity, but Neville has a question.
Why wasn't he wearing his insulation gloves?
Only on Arkansas PBS.
One snowman cake, present and correct.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
We have much to be grateful for.
Just what I wanted for Christmas.
I had hoped for the opportunity to dazzle.
Dazzle?
Good news indeed.
Arkadelphia Badgers hoist the 2024 state championship trophy as they win the Class 4A state championship. Congratulations to the Badgers. They move to 13-2 on the season. Well, Wes, this was, as we've talked about, a defensive performance between both these two teams. A team that we didn't expect at the beginning of the season to get to this point, but they got better and better as the year went on. Let's look at the final stats for this one as really 246 passing yards on a wet day for Arkadelphia and 296 total yards of offense.
What I circled for Elkins was 73 plays for 124 yards.
Yeah.
That's a dominant defense for Arkadelphia. They had 11 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks, 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles recovered, so 6 turnovers on this Arkadelphia defense. 5 sacks, 11 tackles for a loss. That's outstanding. And Arkadelphia had 1 penalty all day long. So they played pretty clean. You remember that 1 penalty was on that face mask in the second quarter. We're like, that's their first penalty. Well, that turned out to be their only penalty of the game. And then when you look at all of when it's said and done, Bryson McCoy, the quarterback for Arkadelphia, 15 of 37, 1 interception, but 3 touchdowns, 246 yards, like you said, but 3 explosive plays. Jake Purifoy, 57-yard touchdown catch. Orion Roberts, 56-yard touchdown catch. And Maddox Finley, 65-yard touchdown catch. So their 3 touchdowns early on, besides the very last touchdown from Nakisa Wimberly, the 14-yard run from the big defensive lineman. That was kind of the nail in the coffin, but it was the big plays for Arkadelphia on offense, and that's what Coach Shucker told me. He said, look, we know we're going to get the big explosive plays on offense, but we want to be able to run the ball. They couldn't run it that much today, but they could depend on that defense, and you just saw it time after time. That's the first explosive play from Jay Purifoy. 57-yard score, made it 7-0 in the first quarter. And really, that's all they needed because the defense did their job the rest of the way. There's your MVP right there, right? He comes up with another big play. Braden Wagner had 2 interceptions. There's the second interception for Wagner. And he's been named the MVP of the state championship game. That's the second big play from Orion Roberts, 56 yards. And then they hit Maddox Finley on the little fake bubble screen, and Finley goes 65 yards, and then the final touchdown, Nikesum Wimberly, the big defensive lineman, 14-yard touchdown run as the sideline erupted. They were so happy to see him get into the end zone, but Arkadelphia pitches a shutout in the state championship game against an Elkins team that was averaging 48 points per game, and they shut them out.
Let's head down with the winning head football coach, Tyler Cass, has Trey Shucker.
Yeah, Coach, look, this Elkins team, one of the most prolific offenses the last couple of years. What can you say about your defense? A shutout in the state title game.
Man, it's just huge. I said at the beginning of the year in a preseason interview, I thought we had the best defense in 4A, and man, they showed out tonight. Our defense carried us all game long. Our offense struggled at times, but our defense was consistent. We had consistent pressure on the quarterback, and our DBs came to play, and we had a lot of turnovers. I think we had 5 or 6 turnovers on the night. Just huge defensive performance by our guys. Our coaches did a great job getting our defense prepared, and we were ready to play.
Pretty nasty morning weather-wise. Looks like Arkadelphia still it out, bringing a title back to them. What does that mean?
Man, it's huge. Just the community, for our school district, for our program, it's huge to bring another title back, hang another banner. Just so proud of our guys, so proud of our staff, so proud of our players. Just all the support that we've got. This is what you get when you got the support like we've got at Arkadelphia with the community, the admin, and the school. It's just a special time to be a Badger, and we're happy that we could bring home the state championship trophy today.
This class been through some hard. You get to send them off state champs. What's that mean to you?
Man, I'm just so proud of them. I'm so happy for how far they've come. Our senior class, very strong group of seniors for us, very good young men. The only thing I can hope is that they use this as a way to continue being successful in life. Don't let this be the most successful thing that they ever do, and I'm sure that will not be the case. Our guys are smart guys, very well-rounded young men, and man, just so proud of how far they've come, though.
All right, well, let's celebrate now. Congrats, Coach.
Thank you, Tyler, as this team wins it by a final score of 28-0.
Tonight, after the 3A state championship game between Bismarck and Salem, be sure to stay tuned for Willie Nelson's 90th birthday celebration. Chris Stapleton, Roseanne Cash, Cheryl Crow, George Strait, many more perform along with the man himself, Willie Nelson. That's tonight at 9:30. And get all your championship gear, official championship gear available right now. ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com to find apparel and memorabilia commemorating this unforgettable season. That's ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com.
Well, let's go back down to the field. Tyler Cass has got tonight's MVP, Braden Wagner.
That's right. Congrats. A state title to close things out. I mean, just how special is this group?
It's just so special. You know, I'm not from here. I just moved here 2 years ago, and these guys, they brought me in. They made me feel welcomed, and every day just came to practice and worked hard, really hard for this, and I'm so blessed that it played off.
A 0 on the board for the defense in a state championship game. How big was that for you guys?
Oh, that's really big. We were able to, you know, just disrupt their offense and turn the ball over. How many turnovers did I have? 6, maybe? I mean, it's just crazy. And it wasn't just one person. We had a ton of guys on the field making plays.
Seeing the whole town out here, you guys get to hoist that trophy. I mean, just getting to close things out as state champs. What does that mean to this whole group?
It's just so special. You know, we came up short last up short their sophomore year and freshman year, and
all right, they've hit the music. I'll let you go and celebrate with your guys. Congrats, man.
Thank you, Tyler, as that is the MVP, Braden Wagner, for today's state championship game in Class 4A. Well, Wes, you know what? We're not done, but it's kind of a sad thing because we've only got one high school football game left in the state, and that's coming up tonight at 6:30. In fact, you mentioned it a minute ago. It's going to be Bismarck and Salem, but the line of people, here it is. That's the line out of Bismarck. You got firefighters, you got policemen. They're all giving the police escort down to War Memorial Stadium right now.
Yeah, our buddy Bob Clausen sent me that video. He was on the side of the road, pulled over. There's the team buses. Bismarck on the way to War Memorial Stadium, and the whole town of Bismarck showed out. He said it was just lined full of cars, honking their horns, just wishing the team good luck as they head up to War Memorial Stadium.
That is a really cool scene, and you know what? You will be able to watch everything right here on Arkansas PBS coming up tonight at 6:30. It'll be the last game of the state championships here at the stadium. It'll be Class 3A. Well, your final in this one, Arkadelphia. They hoist the trophy. They're taking it back to Arkadelphia with a 28-0 win over Elkins. For Tyler Cass, Wes Moore, I'm RJ Hawk. Until tonight for Class 3A, you've been watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.